All right, we got the usual build-up this time of day. Folks trying to head home. Looks like northbound 65 starting to get bumper-to-bumper to the South Loop downtown. Then the eastbound South Loop really backed up over to 65. Eastbound 440 over to 24. And then east and westbound 40 between the East Loop and the Eastern Split. You're starting to get some brake tapping there. Some of that has to do with the disabled vehicle in the right lane, 40 eastbound near Hermitage Avenue. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, kids. Welcome in. It is just after 3 o'clock. May I be the first to say good afternoon and welcome into the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Happy to be here this Monday, July 21, 2025. We're excited. I've got 4 full hours of what I hope to be entertaining and informative talk radio for the masses on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. As I settle in, I welcome back to the microphone young Ken Weaver. Brother Ken out for a few days of R&R, but he's back behind the mic, slaving behind a hot microphone, delivering the headlines for you twice an hour and when it breaks. Hello, Ken Weaver.
How's it going, boys?
You doing all right?
I'm doing all right.
The family looked good. I saw you on social media celebrating birthdays. Looked like you had a grand old time.
Yeah, man. My dad turned 80 years old on Friday.
That's awesome.
Got a chance to celebrate it with him.
How's he doing?
He's doing good.
Good. How's Mama?
Mom's doing good.
That's wonderful.
Mom's doing good. She's 77.
That's awesome. That's all. Are they in Oklahoma?
They're in Oklahoma.
Oh, and that's do you refer to that as God's country?
You know, for my family and friends, yes.
Yeah, I mean, your mama and daddy are there, so that's going
right.
to help.
That's right.
It's going to help.
I love getting off the beaten path in Oklahoma. That's God's country in some of the parts of Oklahoma.
I mean, it's flat out there, isn't it?
Yeah. So now, southeastern Oklahoma, you start getting some hills.
Uh-huh.
They call them mountains. You have what's called the Ouachita Mountains down there in southeast Oklahoma. They're nothing like the Rockies.
Yeah.
But one thing I did notice, man, apparently they're having some black bears in Oklahoma. I saw on the Interstate 40 signs telling you beware of the black bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, big old fat bears on these signs.
Well, so must be good eating out there in Oklahoma. Good fishing.
Yeah, good fishing. It was hot, man.
It's hot.
It's just as hot there as it is here.
It's hot all over. And if I have to hear about the real feels one more time, I'm gonna.
What is the real feel, brother Weaver?
Oh, jeez! Don't get him started, Jackson. I haven't even said hello to you yet. You've already gotten him started. Those news people, those news people / weather people, man, with the real feel. Don't tell me how to feel about the weather.
See, that's how we make it dramatic.
I know it. I know.
80 million Americans under a heat advisory.
That's right. And it's not enough to tell me that it's going to be 94 today, right? It's not. That's not enough. That's not good enough.
We went over it, Brother Murphy. We beat it. It's 95 right now. Real temperature is 95.
But that's not enough.
What's it feel like?
The heat index is 103, boys.
I've already lost
glad
it.
we're inside.
I'm like 5 minutes into the show, I've lost control already.
Sorry, Brother Murphy.
No, it's okay. Oh, boy. Yeah, we're all inside, right? And never mind. I'm not going to get into it because people get mad when I get into it. I'm not going to do it.
It's summer. It's summertime.
Hot time.
Yes, sir.
Hot time. And, before you know it, we got 4 seasons, right? We got summer, football, wintertime, and just before summer. That's what we got in Tennessee. So enjoy it while we've got it. Football coming up.
I believe on the meter we're at Hell's Front Porch.
Yeah, my grandpa said it this way one time. My grandmother, we came in, my grandfather was a heavy equipment mechanic. He did a lot of farming and earth moving equipment. He was an independent guy, but we were out in the middle of a field working on a tractor, and it was blazing. And I remember we came in for lunch, and my grandmother said, "Is it hot out there?" And Pa said, "It ain't hell, but hell's right around the corner." I thought that was a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good way to put it. Jackson, you doing okay? You have a good weekend?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Well, I'm feeling it today.
Hey,
I'm feeling it today.
I heard you give an update on your shoulder. That I saw your update on your shoulder. You're getting some more movement in it, Brother Murphy.
Yeah, so I did a shoulder update over the weekend because people were after me. Like for the 5 or 6 or 8 of you that are curious and interested, and I thank you for your interest and your curiosity, and I apologize, but I've been remiss. Overall, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Getting some quality movement back. Going to PT. You do PT twice a day, really, at home. And that's the key to something like this for an arthroplasty or a shoulder replacement or rotator cuff or any surgery for that matter is do what they tell you to do.
Yes, sir.
But the frustrating thing is I'm ready to get after it, and you can only do so much. And I love picking on – I call her Abby the Abuser. She is Abigail the Abuser, my personal physical therapist who has a doctor. She's Dr. Abigail. Which I did not realize that they gave they gave doctorates in physical therapy, but she has one, and in all sincerity, she does great. She's out at AOS, and I'll give them a little free plug because they're good people out there in Mount Juliet, right off the interstate, advanced orthopedic and spine. But and by the way, if y'all ever consider advertising on the radio, I'd be a good testimonial, frankly, because y'all did great work.
Well, you've lived it.
I'm living through it right now. I mean, they did the surgery, and now I'm doing the PT. But you got to they know the exercises that your body's ready for when your body's ready for them. And, at first it's just strictly low movement. What I can't do, and if you're watching and I hesitate to do any of this because it looks like the old sea Kyle, and I'm not trying to do all of that, but raising the arm above, raising the arm at all. Like I thought I was doing pretty good at home, and then I tried to actually lift my left arm on my own, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, don't do that, Brother Murphy.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But the way that I look at it, and it's kind of a life lesson, and I don't mean to get too philosophical this early in the show, but I want to lay it down for you because I know that I come off very negative quite often on the radio, and I get it. Because we talk about a lot of negative things, and I get frustrated that there's so many darn stupid people. And you would think that God, well, put it this way. You would think that that God wouldn't like stupid people, but then he made so many of them. So you're wondering, well, which is it, Lord? I mean, do we not like them or do we? Because there's so many of them. But anyway, but I know that, sometimes what we do can be very negative in its very nature, talking about politics and the world that we live in today. And we gravitate toward the negative, and news has always been that way. The old saying goes, if it bleeds, it leads, right, Ken? I mean, that's the old newspaper line, right?
Yeah.
Give me the gore on the front page, and we're going to sell newspapers today. Get me something, involving a car accident, and we're going to sell some radio or whatever it is.
Run with it, boys.
That's the way they talk. And when he's talking like that, y'all, he's got a hat, and he's got a little thing on it that says scoop. Remember those guys? Yeah, see?
And a bottle of hooch in his desk drawer.
I'm going to go down to the station and see if I can't dig up something in the police reports. Yes. Anyway, cheese it. It's the cops. So, but honestly, for 15 or so years, and I relate this to my shoulder, but I think you can relate this to any part of your life, whether it's physical or psychological. And what I would call this is turning negative pain into positive pain. Turning negative pain into positive pain. Because eventually, when you turn negative pain into positive pain turns into happiness. You're not going to turn that ship around overnight. And I think people expect too much too soon sometimes in their lives. If you're dealing with a negative relationship situation, if you're dealing with a negative work situation, if you find yourself in the midst of positive pain, and I'll relate it to my shoulder, for the better part of 2 decades, especially the last 10 years, my shoulder was negative pain. When I played golf, I had to deal with my shoulder. When I rode on my motorcycle, I had to deal with my shoulder. When I did anything of a physical nature, I had to deal with my shoulder. When I tried to better myself physically and said, hey, I need to get into shape, I'm 45 years old, the shoulder said, nope, you're not doing that. It was all negative pain. And the shoulder generated that. And so finally, I decided to do something about it. And so all the pain, and everybody talks about the pain of PT, and it's true. But all of the pain the way that I choose to look at it is that none of this is negative pain anymore. It's all positive pain, because the pain of physical therapy is going to lead me to the promised land of a shoulder that is, relatively speaking, healed.
Yes, sir.
And eventually, no pain at all. So whatever you're going through, figure out a way, and I'm not here to preach to you or philosophize to you, but whatever you're going through, if you find yourself in pain, is it negative pain or positive pain? Because you might not be able to make that pain go away, but you might be able to find a way to turn it down a road that's going to lead to a pain-free life. And that might take a minute, but it's worth it. Example, if you're a smoker, right? And you know that smoking is bad for you. You know that it's creating negative impact in your life. Well, if you put those cigarettes down, get ready, because you're about to go through a little pain in that relationship too, in terms of quitting. But that's positive in nature because it's leading you to a better place. Anyway, so all of that to say, shoulder's doing well. Thank you for those who are asking. I hope that you can turn whatever negative pain you have in your life into positive pain and eventually no pain at all. So, there's that. We've got a lot to go into today. I do want to signpost one quick interview, 5:05 today. I'm very, very excited. I would guess, Jackson, and it's not your fault. I'm not judging. It's just generational in nature that you don't know who Ricky Skaggs is. I would guess.
Can I guess what he's famous for?
Yes.
Baseball?
Incorrect.
Although he might be pretty good at baseball.
I mean, you never know. He's pretty good at everything else he does. Do you want to take a second guess?
Is he an athlete?
He is not.
Musician?
Oh, and now we're getting closer. He is an internationally famous country music musician, particularly rose to prominence and fame in the late 70s, into the 1980s, into the 90s. But he remains one of the most prominent, if not the most prominent, bluegrass artist in our generation. And he's going to be on with us at 5:05. He's reopened his studio out in Hendersonville. He's got a show going on, I think, tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. And he introduced Ricky Skaggs is singularly responsible for teaching me that I loved bluegrass music.
Yeah.
I mean, and what the cool thing about Skaggs is, and I'm going to talk to him about it, and I know Brian, I guess, am I right, Ken? Brian and Ricky Skaggs are like friends.
They're real good friends.
They know each other. So that's awesome. That's so pretty cool. So I've never had an opportunity to speak with him. We're going to talk to him this afternoon about 5:05. Excited about that. At some point throughout the course of the day, we may or may not speak to Congressman Andy Ogles. We're trying to nail that down. There are votes apparently going on that they're scheduling right now in the House of Representatives. Wanted to talk to him about some of the issues involving Belmont University and what he's trying to do about it, plus some of the successes that have happened in Washington, D.C. over the last several weeks. That's on the docket. Of course, your telephone calls are always very important to us at 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. It is episode 400. No. Back it up, Murphy. It's episode 846 of our gatherings together. It's day 182 of Donald Trump's second term. That's of a total of 1460.5. You can find us on any variety of platforms, to include 99.7 FM, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart, all your various apps, including our own. We invite you to download that. And then, of course, Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, friends, down Franklin Way, if you find yourself around or the square, anywhere around the square, I would encourage you, as a matter of fact, it ought to be a destination, to go down and see Savory Spice. Holly and David, they are the local owners of Savory Spice. Great at what they do. Friends, Holly and David have put together such a fine line of spices and various seasonings and salts and peppers and just anything you need for the kitchen. Folks, if you don't know your way around the kitchen, then you owe it to yourself to go to Savory Spice to stock up. If you know your way around a kitchen, then you probably already know about Savory Spice because they have a better quality of spices than anyone else in the market today. Don't trust your food. Don't trust what you put into your body to just any old discount store or whatever. Get the best with Savory Spice. Plus, they have the things that nobody else offers. And it doesn't have to cost you more to get a better quality of spice. Savory Spice proves that time and again. Don't forget about the Spice and Easy line and the gift-giving ideas at Savory Spice, just off the square in Franklin. Worth the drive. Tell them that I sent you to the one and only Savory Spice.
Construct. Construction has resumed on the new Titan Stadium after that noose was found there at the site. An actor who played one of TV's most popular sons has died, and millions of above-ground pools being recalled due to drownings. These stories and more at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Drownings? Holy moly. I mean, it's tough to drown in an above-ground pool.
Well,
We're going to find out together.
It depends.
In about 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
On Super Talk 99.7 WT, and I'm interested in getting an update on the Noose deal. Here's the thing. This was my initial and original thought on the Noose deal, and we didn't talk about it last week necessarily, but my grandfather used to fashion those as pull ropes. I mean, and on rolling doors, on doors that come down with any, you know what I'm talking about, the big track doors. He would put a rope on there, and he would tie a little handle on the rope, and he would do it in the fashion of what one would consider to be a noose. But he would do that as a pull handle. Years ago, remember the NASCAR controversy surrounding Talladega Superspeedway?
Yes,
when
sir.
everybody lost their minds?
Yep.
And I lost all respect for Bubba Wallace for elevating this to a level that it need be elevated, because someone had done that. They had fashioned a rope around one of the stalls to help pull the door down on the stall. And a year after it was done, Bubba happened to draw that stall, and that rope hang was there. And, oh, my God, it's a noose, and it's a black driver, and all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to boycott NASCAR, and that had nothing to do with anything. Now, I don't know about this situation at Nissan Stadium, but we'll find out together at 3:30.
I
mean, I
don't know. I don't see why anybody. Why would a white supremacist go put a noose up at Titan Stadium?
Makes zero sense. There is no. I predict, as far as I understand this story, that there is no story there. That someone had a break, someone was bored, there was rope, they played around with the rope, or someone was fashioning some sort of pull handle that they then left behind, or someone was just being funny. I mean, but this idea of elevating this to the point, I mean, like you said, Ken, so that's what we're going to do? If I want to make some grand point, some real big statement, I mean, what statement am I making?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And they shut down operations.
Shut down operations, and now there's a $250,000 reward offered for information leading to figuring out how the noose wound up at Titan's new stadium.
See,
what if it is just a stupid thing?
I was just bored. We were waiting on this crew to finish before we could start our job, because you know how it goes. I mean, a lot of times you have to wait for the concrete guys to get out of there before the metal guys can get in there or whatever. And we were just bored and had rope laying around, and I was like, hey, fella, I mean, like if you and Jackson and I, Ken, were sitting around and we were bored.
Yeah.
And I might go, hey, guy, I know how to do a noose.
Yeah. Hey, fellas, watch this.
I mean, right? And then you just throw it out. But I don't. Where was it? Was it found hanging somewhere, or do we know?
Apparently, it was found hanging somewhere there on the site.
That's just a big nothing burger. My prediction. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I might be wrong, but I doubt it. A huge, big nothing burger. And by the way, it used to be called a hangman's knot. And they were perfectly serviceable ways to kill people that had done bad things to other people back in the day. Used to use them all the time. And now apparently, so are we to the point, and this is an important question, are we to the point where we're going to allow a very small sliver of permo-offended society? Mark that word, because I think I just made it up and it's a good one. Permo-offended society. These are the permanently offended class of people. That they run around looking for reasons to be offended. They run around looking for reasons to scream sexism or xenophobia or racism. And in this case, racism. Are we going to allow a small sliver of society to determine for us that anytime and every time anybody mentions or sees a noose, that it's automatically, that means that you are a racist and you must be expunged from society? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? I mean, if that's what we're doing, cool. At least I know what we're doing. But last I checked, that doesn't automatically, well, I mean, you know, there were a lot of great movies that dealt with ropes and hanging folk. Clint Eastwood was in them.
Yeah.
In most of them. I don't get it. I don't get if that's what we're doing. I'll tell you what we're doing in a minute. There was a bombshell that was dropped Friday. We discussed it then. I do not believe that it is it's getting no media play on #NeverCNN or CBS or ABC or NBC, because why would it? And I think if you, like me, believe in this double standard of news, then you'll understand why, because it doesn't look good for James Clapper. It doesn't look good for John Brennan. It doesn't look good for Comey. It doesn't look good for Obama. And there are actionable offenses in this deal. I hope. We're going to talk about it next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Extreme heat in Middle Tennessee. We'll tell you about it during the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, Channel 4's Jordan James says construction has resumed at Titan Stadium. The new Titan Stadium, that is, after that Noose was found.
For the first time since late last week, construction is back underway here at the new Nissan Stadium following a noose being discovered. Authorities continue to investigate how it ended up here. The company overseeing this project, Tennessee Builders Alliance, appears to have lifted the shutdown after vowing to focus on inclusion, respect, also requiring additional anti-bias training for workers. Meanwhile, the impact lingers beyond the stadium as local civil rights organizations demand more accountability.
Yeah, Tennessee Builders Alliance offering a $250,000 reward for information on how that noose was left there. Malcolm Jamal Warner, best known for playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, has died. Police in Costa Rica say Warner drowned at a beach in Limon. He was caught by high current in the water. Here's a clip from The Cosby Show where Warner played one of those 5 Huxtable children from 1984 to 1992.
You're frustrated. You're upset. Draw from that. I'll give you your cue. And if truth shall be my companion in the flames, so be it.
Stop your lies. You foolish girl.
Better, much better.
Thank you.
Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54 years old. Safety recall for above-ground pools. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission recalling 5 million above-ground pools linked to deaths of 9 children over the last 2 decades. Children between 22 months and 3 years old. These pools, about 48 inches high and taller, they've been sold by outdoor recreation companies Bestway, Intex, and Polygroup at retail stores across the U.S. Officials say consumers should contact Bestway, Intex, or Polygroup for a free repair kit. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, still got that disabled vehicle blocking the right lane, 40 eastbound near Hermitage Avenue, and 40 both east and westbound is backed up just due to volume right now between downtown and the eastern split. Northbound 65 getting some brake tapping up to the South Loop downtown, then a lot of brake tapping eastbound 440 over to 24. South Loop is really heavy as you're approaching 65. If you're going eastbound. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
You know, I ask you often how you keep your important valuables safe in your home. How do you keep those things that protect your family and your property safe from theft or from fire? Well, you do so with a safe from Nashville Safe House. Friends, it's Matt Murphy for Nashville Safe House. And folks, Mark and his team are great at what they do, identifying ways to assist you in finding the right safe for you. You go by on 4th Avenue South and you see a selection of safes that you've never seen in your life. I mean, that's just on the showroom floor. They have about 200 on the showroom floor of all shapes, of all sizes, all brand names that you know and love. Rebates galore during the summertime. And I think Mark's going to be on tomorrow to tell us a little more about these rebates because they are pretty special this summer. Now, always sales tax free with your gun safe at Nashville Safe House. That's a nice bonus when you're buying a safe. And they have everything for every price point, for every budget, and for every brand name that you're looking for at Nashville Safe House. Plus, I mentioned 200, then there's another 400 in the warehouse, and they have their professional delivery crews delivering your safe, never third-party crackheads delivering your safe, only professionalism at Nashville Safe House. Go to NashvilleSafeHouse.com, or better yet, stop in 4th Avenue South in Nashville. It can be hard to find someone that you trust when it comes to big money repairs like your AC unit. Now, this is the time of year, in all seriousness. I mean, we joke around about what the temperature is versus what the heat index might be. But it's hot. One way or the other, there's no getting around it. And your AC is working hard. What do you do if it goes out? I don't wish it on anyone. But you want someone that is very quick with response, someone that's going to be there when they say they're going to be there, and they need to be there pretty quick because it's hot, and then we fix it without charging you an arm and a leg, without trying to sell you on something that you perhaps don't need. That's your man, Jeff Eddy, in Efficient Heating and Cooling. When your AC is not ready, call Jeff Eddy. Now, he's going to do the fix that you need. He'll never tell you something that you don't. As a matter of fact, he understands the difference. And it's key that you do, too. So he'll explain it to you. He'll say, well, you know what? I can repair this, but here's the deal. Your unit is so many years old, and there's only so much we can do before we're going to have to replace the entire unit. And if it's time, he'll give you the sad news that it's time, and then go about finding you the right unit at the lowest price point for you. They're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem. Call 615-784-4424. That's 784-4424, or go to efficienthvac.net. You know, a lot of people on the super text line asking the same questions. I remember this conversation going on at the Talladega Super Speedway event when all of this crap came out. I mean, Ken, I'll just ask you. I'm not trying to lead you in any direction.
Okay. You
follow the news and you resource and research it. Has anybody seen a photograph of this so-called noose?
I have not seen one.
I have not either. Why are we not seeing a photograph of this so-called noose? I mean, what are news organizations going to tell us that our delicate sensibilities can't handle seeing a noose?
That I would not be surprised.
By the way, I don't know if anybody in the news media knows it, but I promise you construction crews know it, that they use these slip knot type nooses in order to pull things up like scaffolding. I know for a fact that, and it might not be up to code, and they might not do this way on a big project like what is being built at the Nissan Stadium site. But I know for a fact that people that use scaffolding, they use ropes and pulley systems and nooses that will cinch down on scaffolding like that you can easily uncinch. And that's why you would use a noose in this case to do so. They use that all the time on construction sites. So why in the hell are we so quick to decide that this is some grand white supremacy conspiracy, when it might just be nothing? It might just be somebody using a rope and using if I called a noose a slip knot, does that make y'all feel better about it? Because they're largely the same thing. So I just don't understand why we haven't seen a photograph of it. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I have not seen one. I'm looking for it right now, Brother Murphy, and I cannot find it.
I mean, why would you not? Why would there not be a $250,000?
$250,000, dude.
So what happens if? So here's the deal, Ken. So let's say Jackson and I were on the job site.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, you're my superior in the construction industry, and you watched me haul some stuff up to a higher elevation with rope, pulling it up, and I had my buddy down there, Ken Weaver, helping me out, and we used one of these slip knots, but we did a noose, and you know that, but you know that nothing was intended by it, nothing racially motivated by it. There was no message that was being sent. So I ask you, if Jackson calls this in and says, hey, guys, I know what was going on with the noose. Here was the deal. These two guys were, they fashioned this thing to pull things up. Is Jackson going to get $250,000?
He might.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's anybody with information that leads to the what? That leads to what?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, what? So, so I'm sitting there bored as hell. I'm on lunch break, and I know how to do a noose. And I say, Jackson, I know how to do a noose. No, you don't. Yes, I do. And I do a noose, and then we just flop it over a piece of scaffolding and walk away. Now what? Somebody's going to arrest me?
Yeah,
For what?
Yeah, it says $250,000 reward in connection to a rope tied like a noose found hanging from a ceiling there at the construction site. Tennessee Builders Alliance says they're offering the reward, quote, for information that leads us to the person or persons responsible.
So what are they going to do to the persons responsible?
Yeah, and what if it is, as you are saying, it was just done for work purposes?
Right.
And this person might be scared to death.
I would be.
I wouldn't say a word.
I mean, can you imagine if I was doing that and, and I could do it a simple slip knot, or I could, or whatever. I did something fancier that maybe looked like a little bit like a noose. But they function largely the same way. You can slip them on, you throw them down, and the noose has a little bit more to it in terms of doing the knot, because I don't pretend to have any understanding, but back in the day when they used these for official, punishment purposes for, the death penalty, they wanted to a little bit of a surety that we would snap the neck, but whatever. So if I did this, I would be petrified. I would be absolutely petrified. 0939 says, well, what if you turned yourself in? Do you get the $250,000 then?
Dude, they had counseling services.
Wait, what?
Counseling services to all workers and additional anti-bias training for every person on site being provided.
Anti-bias training for what? So honestly, so what we are saying based on the news reports on this story, not on our station, not Ken Weaver, but additional news reporting. So the insinuation is that there are no circumstances in which there can be a noose at all.
Bingo. You're
period. End of discussion in society whatsoever.
This has to be a hate crime. Although it's not being called a hate crime, but they are saying that, nope, this is motivated by hate.
Then, they had counseling services?
Yeah, counseling services to all workers and additional anti-bias training for every person on site being provided, according to the company.
No, this is a company completely overreacting. This is a company petrified that the woke crowd is going to come after them if they don't act as if this is the most important thing ever in the history of ever, when, in fact, it is not. Now, if someone did it for the purpose of sending a message, if someone did it for the purpose of intimidating another person for whatever reason, that person needs to be dealt with. You fire that person, and if they're guilty of any criminal offense, intimidation or, threat of bodily harm or, I don't know, I suppose we could think of some things, fine. charge those. If it is determined that it was done with the intent to intimidate or to, I mean, I suppose that you could go after that person at that point. You could fire them or whatever. But what are we saying? Is the noose like, it's like the N-word now, right? Although the N-word, there's really nothing, there's no good that comes of that. I get that. I don't, whatever. There's a double standard that exists with it, but whatever, I don't care. But so now, anytime we are instructed by society, by woke society, that anytime there's a noose involved in any aspect of our daily lives, that it has to be cloaked and bathed in racism and white supremacy and racial intent. I mean, who were they trying to intimidate? I mean, what was the... Give me more information. Where was the noose found? Why are there no photos of the noose? I mean, what crews? I mean, it would seem to me that we could narrow this down a little bit. What crews were working there and why? Why are we assuming that somebody's a racist? Because that drives the damn news cycle, man, and it keeps a cottage industry going. Line 3? I like that line. Hello, Michael?
Yes.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Talk to me, brother.
All right. I've been listening to y'all all day, and we've been I'm out here at the stadium. I'm actually currently on the site. As far as the noose goes, I think that was probably just somebody being stupid, not thinking anything about it. Probably picked up a rope, made one, and probably not a great idea to hang it. But as far as all the sensitivity training and all that they say they're offering now, they did that last week before all of this happened.
Okay, so this was before the news.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're not doing it because of the news. They did it the week prior to this. We all had to go through it. It took, I don't know, probably all 5-6 days. 1,300 people out here on this site all went through it. But that happened before the news incident, not since.
Is it, I mean, it begs the question, Michael, and I'm not trying to, I mean, you tell me if you can answer or not. I don't want to get you in trouble, first and foremost.
No,
all right?
I'm good.
But is it possible this was in response to or reaction to that training?
It's possible. It could be. I mean, anything could be possible, but yeah, somebody could have took that and been like, watch this.
Right. I mean, like, I thought that was stupid, and it's, so stupid. This is what I think of it kind of thing, kind of being stupid themselves. But, Michael, is it, I mean, I would think, I mean, I know on certain job sites that I've been on, believe it or not, I used to, engage in physical labor at one point in my life. And I know that people use slip knots to, I mean, I would imagine that they're not using a lot of slip knots on a site that big with the types of code and all of the things that hoops that y'all have to jump through.
Well, I think there's a difference between slip knot and a noose. I mean, somebody knew what they was doing, but I don't know. I think somebody just wasn't thinking, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Did you see it?
No. It was taken down before most anybody even got on site Friday morning.
The talk on site, and I'm naturally drawn to ask these questions because, I mean, I want to get to the source material. I mean, from those on site that perhaps saw it or were aware of it, I mean, was someone obviously trying to send some sort of message with it?
I didn't see it. I don't know how big it was. I know roughly where it was. I couldn't answer,
one way or the other.
I think, like I said, I think it was probably just a, piece of rope somebody found and made one, and not intentionally thinking, you see this stuff in garages all the time.
Yeah, sure.
So it could have been one of those kind of deals where, hey, I'm gonna hang this, But I can't answer for that person. I just think if I see it nowadays, people, they just made the noose and decided to hang it, and I think half the time they don't think anything, twice about it until something is said about it.
Until a big deal is made of it.
Yes.
Well,
now you should have the common sense to know this might get me in trouble.
Well, yeah, nowadays you got to walk on eggshells around that type of thing, sadly. I mean, other than that, Michael, how are things going at the job site? Progress being made?
Things are going. Oh, yeah. Lots of progress. I'm in and out of inside and outside of this building every day, all day, and just the amount of trucks that come in delivering steel. I mean, it's amazing how fast it is coming up.
Well, Michael, will you be our official Matt Murphy radio show Nissan Stadium progress report correspondent?
Yeah, I can do that.
Just call us like once a week or so and give us a report on how things are going.
I can do that.
Oh man, I love it.
All right.
Thank you for calling in and give us that perspective, and be safe out there, brother.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
You do too. There you go. We got a man on the scene now.
So they had the diversity, inclusion, and what's the other? Equity training.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes the rope.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a clearer picture of what happened here.
Yeah.
We had this woke training. This is my hypothesis. Murphy's speculation alert. Okay. I don't know, but this is my, give me a Murphy's speculation alert. So they have this training. Somebody thinks it's dumb. Somebody is insulted by it. Somebody thinks, well, this is the most ridiculous crap I've ever had to sit through in my life. And so their response to it was to do something stupid. And they didn't realize that it would be the big deal that it is about to be made out to be. And sadly, that person, you know what? We probably could have if I'm right, if my speculation is correct, they had this training. I'm thinking this is stupid. Why do we? Because, folks, let me tell you something. Every time this company goes through that crap training, I think it's stupid too. And I'm going to be honest with you. I go through it because it's a part of my job. I agreed to go through it. I agreed to abide by the rules of Cumulus Media. And we go through some dumb training, and I'm not afraid to call it that. That is my opinion of it. But you know what? I do it. I keep my mouth closed. I don't refuse to not do it because I want my job. Is that fair? Am I out of bounds saying that? Maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting in trouble right now. I don't know. But maybe, just maybe, Noose guy doesn't have a racist bone in his body, and because he doesn't have a racist bone in his body, he is insulted by having to go through, hours upon hours of quote-unquote DEI training, and because he was insulted, he just kind of lashed out and responded in his own way. And because of that, this happens. I'm going to guess that that's the case, but who knows? We'll find out, I'm sure. It's 53 after the hour on Super Talk. The nice thing, you already know by now, because I've been telling you for quite some time, that if you need changes in your health insurance, you call Shane Ring at Cover Nash, right? Everyone knows that by now, that if it's time to change, if it's time to come up with a new plan, a new set of ideas as to which way you need to go with health insurance, and you need more for your insurance, or you need more coverage for less money, Cover Nash, Cover Nash, Cover Nash. Shane Ring is the man. But by now, I hope that you also know that with Shane Ring and Cover Nash, if you have any questions whatsoever, just call him. If you don't think that you can leave your current insurance and go to a different insurance, if you don't want to leave your employer but you want different options, call Shane Ring and ask him any and all questions. He is your personal concierge when it comes to health insurance. He's not a call center agent, never will be. Call center agents don't care anything about you. They care about selling a particular product to you. You're the client with Shane Ring and Cover Nash. 615-465-0023. 465-0023 or covernash.com. That's covernash.com. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to Cover Nash.
Speaker of the House Mike Johnson's majority has grown even slimmer. We'll tell you why coming up at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Weight loss? Weight loss. Looking slim and trim up there in Washington, D.C. No, it's probably not weight loss. We'll find out together at 4 o'clock with Super Talk 99.7 WTN. There's Ken Weaver. My name's Matt Murphy. Jackson in between. Thank you for calling. We had a contact that we have a source that tells us that they have identified the source of the news.
Okay.
They could not go on air with us. And that is forthcoming, and it's exactly
what we're pontificating.
Yeah. Somebody in the aftermath of the training was annoyed by it, didn't think anything of what they were doing, and they've now – because that site's under 24-hour surveillance, folks. There's video surveillance everywhere on that
ready
site.
To say,
Come
man.
on. And somebody's about to have their lives ruined over this.
That's too bad.
And, you can call it a mistake or you can say whatever you want to about it, but the overreaction is just, you can see it coming. It's already here. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. More your calls coming up right after the news, and the news is happening right now.
Four o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got some heavy rain moving into northern middle Tennessee from Kentucky. In fact, heavy enough to prompt a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Sumner County until 4:15. Looks like a severe thunderstorm located near Portland or 11 miles north of Gallatin. It's moving east at 30 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. That's enough to damage roofs, siding, and trees. Gallatin, White House, Cross Plains, Portland, Mitchellville, Cottontown, Oak Grove, and Black Jack are in the path of this severe thunderstorm, prompting a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Sumner County until 4:15. All this activity is north of Nashville. It is slowly creeping to the east. Channel 4 says Mark Green has officially resigned as congressman for the 7th District. Green served as the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, said he would resign after passage of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. Well, that has passed. And then Green cited an opportunity in the private sector that he found, quote, too exciting to pass up. Green's departure leaves House Speaker Mike Johnson an even slimmer majority, 219 Republicans, 212 Democrats, 4 empty seats. A federal judge has formally blocked a Tennessee law making it a felony to recruit or transport a minor to get an abortion without parental consent. State Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti has not yet responded. Axios says Nashville Democrat State Rep Afton Ben and Nashville attorney Rachel Welty sued to block the law, arguing the recruitment section could broadly block their efforts to share information about how to obtain legal abortions in other states. The ruling is from a U.S. Circuit Judge, Julia Gibbons. That's a President George W. Bush appointee. And actor Malcolm Jamal Warner has died, best known for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show from 1984 to 1992. Here's an exchange early on in the series between Theo and Dad.
Maybe you can just accept who I am and love me anyway. Because I'm your son.
Theo, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, police in Costa Rica say Warner drowned at a beach in Limon. He was caught by a high current in the water, according to authorities. While he was vacationing with his family, Warner was 54 years old. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, got a crash reported by police. Harding Place near Danby Drive. Then in Antioch, Bell Road, right next to I-24. Looks like it's stop and go for a bit if you're eastbound 440 between 65 and 24 to get over to 24. And then northbound 65, there's some brake tapping to get up to the South Loop. Pretty much anywhere around the loop downtown, you're going to be bumper to bumper in some spots as we have hit that rush hour drive home. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. A second hour in progress. I don't understand my laptop computer, but you know what? What I don't understand about computers could fill this full show and the next 48 shows, I would imagine. But my laptop will not hold on to the Wi-Fi signal. I can hold on to the Comfort Inn Wi-Fi signal, but I cannot hold on to our Wi-Fi signal for some reason or another. I don't know if it's just me. I'm going to pretend that it's just me because it would be less annoying if it's not.
Is that why you keep asking me for the Wi-Fi password? Like on my phone, it sends me a request every day.
Does it?
Yeah, it says, would you like to share the Wi-Fi password with Matt Murphy?
No, that is my computer knows the Wi-Fi password. My computer has known the Wi-Fi password. The Wi-Fi password has not changed, to my knowledge, since I've been here. And I got here December of 2021.
Hasn't changed. I've been here August of 22.
Oh, there you go. And for some reason, my computer loses the Wi-Fi. And then when it loses the Wi-Fi, it starts demanding the password. But I know the password. And it's already into my, and then I just say join, and it says no. I'm not joining until you tell us the password. And I was like, well, you know the password. And it's asking you for the password. It's asking Weaver for the password. It's asking me. I don't know the password.
It's not asking me anything. But I tell you what, if it's that Comfort Inn, next time snow comes around, I'm going to enjoy that Wi-Fi.
Oh, so yeah, I think I'm back on the Wi-Fi on the old laptop. I got like 14 different computers in here anyway, including the old handheld. And then 2 computers, and then my computer, so we ought to be good. But, yeah, anytime that I ask you that question, yeah, just...
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know why that doesn't ask my phone anymore, though. It used to ask my phone.
That is weird.
Yeah. I'm going to look on my phone, see if I'm getting questions.
It, stops everything my phone is doing and is like, would you like to share this password with Matt Murphy?
0727 says, hey, what's the password? Maybe I can help.
After that, we'll give all our banking info.
Isn't it password 123, but the word is capitalized, right? Isn't that what it is?
It.
I think that's what I thought it was.
Who was giving out secrets?
I know. Password. Word's capitalized. 123. Y'all give it a go. 615-737-9986. Those are real numbers, and we would love to hear from you. We'll get back. This news story is just annoying the mess out of me. It broke last week. I left it alone Friday. I heard about it and left it alone. I didn't think anything of it. I did not feel like there was a there. Now we have found out. So there was sensitivity training that went on site before, we were told, by 2 different people. Before this noose was discovered, the news of the noose, there was sensitivity training on site. I would suggest to you that, and this is speculation on my part, because of that training and as a way to kind of push back against the necessity of said same, someone put a little news together, hung it somewhere, and now all hell has broken loose at Nissan Stadium. They shut the job site down for a day. They've offered a $250,000 reward. We are told by what I will believe this source. They offered young Jackson enough information about who they were. They would not go on air with us, but they did offer enough information that I feel comfortable relating this, that they claim that they have identified privately, they have already identified who they believe was responsible. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because I don't want to contribute to ruining that person's life, which I sadly believe that that's about to happen.
Probably shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, sure.
But
I agree.
Goodness.
And you know what should happen to that person, if anything, Ken? They should get fired.
Probably.
Okay, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you need to know better. You need to be smarter than that.
Yeah, that just was not a
smart idea.
It was not.
But but sadly, there are going to be people that automatically label this person. And I don't know the human being. They might, I don't know who they are, but they're going to be labeled. And they're going to be put into certain categories, because that's the world we live in.
Yes, sir.
And and in a way, it feels to me that sensitivity training only goes one way.
Yeah.
And frankly, I think there needs to be some training about how not to get offended at every damn thing that you see in life.
Well, you got to go back to 1985.
Right?
Those days are over, brother. Murphy.
Right? My grandfather very regularly gave me a big old shot of get over it juice. You need to get over it. It's called LIFE.
I saw a meme, or I saw something on Instagram. It said, here's why Gen X is so tough. We grew up watching these two, and it was Archie Bunker and Fred Sanford.
Amen, brother. Is that not right? Is that not exactly right? And once again, we need to. If y'all want to have sensitivity training, if you, because once again, we get it every year or so, or twice a year. It seems like it's more than that, but where you need to be cognizant that people come from different backgrounds and there's diverse and whatever. That's all well and good. That's fine. That's life. But how about some training that just because someone lives a life that you don't approve of, or just because, that only seems to go one way, right? I'm supposed to be accepting of all of these types of lifestyles that I don't agree with, but sometimes, I don't know, but then that groups of people get offended by the way I live my life, and, all hell breaks loose. Steve is next up on the show. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Murphy, how you doing?
I'm great, man. Thank you for calling.
Hey, all this noose talk got me to wondering. Do we have a noose expert out there that can tell the differences between nooses?
Like which nooses are like legit and which ones are racist?
Well, you had nooses, for the black folk, and then you had nooses for the white men back in the 1800s when they stole a horse or robbed a bank or killed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they know if this noose at the Titan Stadium wasn't meant for one of those men from the 1800s that got hung for stealing a horse?
For some reason, we seem, Steve, to default to the worst in certain circumstances, don't we?
Exactly.
Don't we?
Exactly.
And,
that's what I don't understand. They made like those were the only people ever hung.
And that's bad.
And
and
that's
look,
not safe.
and everybody knows that was awful. Everyone knows that it was horrible. And thank you, Steve, for the call. Everybody understands that was a horrible period in American history. Everybody gets it. But our propensity to demand, not yours and mine, But certain segments of society, small segments of society, demand that we, A, think the worst because they get a lot of attention and make a lot of money. They being race hustlers. There's a cottage industry in keeping all of this crap going. I want to put it in the rearview mirror. Is that wrong? You know, see, the people that keep it going to make money on it, they now use what I'm saying right now on this radio show, and they'll try to use it against me. Matt Murphy wants to pretend this. Matt Murphy wants to pretend that. He wants to forget this. I don't want to forget anything. I want to suggest that if you are to move and progress forward, you have to leave certain aspects behind. Never forget it, but recognize that we have progressed beyond it. And we don't have to think the worst every single time. Unless you're making a lot of money on it. Lenny, you'll be right after Mike. Mike, you are next. Hello, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm fair to partly cloudy, Mike. How are you?
Kind of rainy out here. Another storm coming. More rain, more rain.
Kind of that time of year, brother.
Yeah. Listen, the new scandal, Obama. And now we got all these stories and that he was behind it, Russia, and all these other people, Clapper, and all these people. Now, my question to you is this. This has been referred now to the Department of Justice. Who runs it? Pam Bondi. What is she going to do? She's already neck deep in Epstein, and that's been mishandled. Now we've got this whole Obama thing coming up, and DNI, Tulsi Gabbard. And if you'll refresh my memory, Matt, didn't Tulsi Gabbard run for governor or senator out in Arizona, and they had to have like 6 recounts to get rid of her once and for all by the Democrats, all those recounts?
I think you're thinking of Carrie Lake, but
okay, right. Okay, well, Tulsi Gabbard was David Lancaster. Democrats tried to stop her in the Senate. I do know that hard, but Trump picked her to be the DNI, and now she's uncovered all this stuff. More is to come. Obama's deeply involved, and now she's referred to the DOJ run by Pam Bondi about Obama and all these people, including Hillary and everything else. Where do you think it's going now that the new scandal is hit?
Well, it needs to go a lot of places. The first thing that it needs to get to is the front page of every news organization. And I say front page, quote unquote. I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about newspapers, but I'm talking about the Cryon. Right now, they're trying to pretend like it's a non-story. It is a very, very much a story, and it's one that we're about to get into. And I'm glad that you brought it up, Mike. Once we dispatch of this news conversation, we're going to talk about this story. Tulsi Gabbard, I think you're probably confusing her with Carrie Lake, who was a former reporter out in Arizona. Tulsi Gabbard is a former representative from Hawaii who was a Democrat. She ran for president of the United States of America, and she denounced her Democrat Party as one that has, just left her. She was a member of the United States military, and she became a Republican about a year ago before she became head of the DNI. I trust Tulsi Gabbard. Do you?
I do too, and the reason I do is because I think she serves as a fighter pilot, if I'm not mistaken, and she was in the Air Force. And I trust a lot of people in the military, and most people, because I was in the military. And what I think now is going to happen is they're going to come after Tulsi Gabbard, the media and the Democrat or the Communist Party. Now there is no Democrat Party anymore.
Yeah, she was in the United States Army. She was a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army.
Well, she's in the service. My mind is slipping because
I'm not trying to embarrass you. I know we'll get corrected, so I just want to correct you.
Well, anyway, we do remember general themes and subjects like Obama trying to take down Trump, and we knew that back in 2016.
Well, no, it's a huge deal. It's huge. Mike, it's important, and we are going to bring it up as a result. There are some that suggest that, Russia is covering up Epstein. I don't think one's covering up the other. I think we can talk about both at the same time. We're waiting on the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi to release anything and everything she can regarding Epstein. She has requested that grand jury testimony. We're awaiting to see what, if any, grand jury testimony we get from Epstein. I'm willing to talk about Epstein every day, all day, till the cows come home. I'm not afraid of any of that because I think that if there are child pedos getting away with it, we need to catch them and put them in jail. If there are child rapists getting away with it, we need to catch them and put them in jail, no matter who they are, no matter where this information leads us. But we can chew bubblegum and walk down the street at the same time. And this scandal is potentially the biggest political scandal ever. From a media cover-up perspective, I'm on record as saying the media covering up the degradation of the mental acuity of Joe Biden is the greatest media cover-up in my lifetime. They decided, that if they put enough cat litter on top of it, the cat turd would not smell anymore, and it still did. But in terms of political scandal, we now are seeing the receipts. Now, those of you long-timers in the listening audience, you probably have thought this way for a while. I know I have. We know that Russia was a load of nothing. We know that it was a made-up scandal in order to get Trump. What we now have the receipts for is that it came from the White House of the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama, and his administration. And the people that he put in charge of our intelligence gathering, they were responsible for this. They knew. Obama knew. Brennan knew. Clapper knew. Hillary knew. Comey knew. They all knew. And none of them said a word. And they knew exactly what they were doing and why they were doing it. It was designed to at least force the Trump administration into a defensive posture and at best oust Trump in a soft coup. Now, tell me I'm wrong. What? I am willing to listen to any and all theories about this. I'll give you the deets. Don't worry. If you are new to the party, if you're new to the story, I will feed you baby birds. We'll get to Lenny and Bill and Brian in a moment as well. It's 23 after the hour on Super Talk. It comes to my mind that if I have real problems with my password, I've got a guy, Michael at Alpha and Omega Computer Consultants. Alpha and Omega's been around for a long time. Whether it's something small like you can't keep your password straight or something bigger like cybersecurity, if you're in business and you don't have Alpha and Omega on the team, you need to have them on the team. Don't worry about all of the computer stuff, right? You should be busy making your business bigger and better and growing your business. Every moment that you concern yourself with IT, every second that you worry about that printer that won't work, every moment that you think about cybersecurity and concern yourself with that, you're taking away from your business. Let Michael and his team at Alpha and Omega handle it. They are local in Tennessee. You'll talk to Tennessee people about matters that concern Tennessee people. You don't have to talk to somebody overseas or whatever. Their emergency services are available 24/7. If you're a business owner, you need to make this call that so many others have made to Alpha and Omega and let his team take over all of your computer management for your team. 615-784-0096, 784-0096, or A&O.net. See what they did there? A, Alpha, and O is Omega. A&O.net.
Right now in our nation's capital, the Republican majority in the U.S. House has grown slimmer. We'll tell you about that story and more at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
You see what Ken Weaver did there? That is the art. That's the master art of a tease. Weaver just said that something has grown slimmer. Huh?
Hey, I didn't even think about that, Brother Murphy.
It's something grew slimmer.
I'm going to try to use that every half hour.
That's pretty good because people go, what? How does something grow slimmer?
How do you do that?
He's about to tell you minutes from now on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll dive deep into the big breaking news over the weekend that we need to discuss on the radio show. And I appreciate each of you being with us on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for your time and consideration. Let me put the news story to bed if we can. Lenny is on the line. Hey, Lenny.
Hey there. Thanks for taking the call. Yes, for Comey and Obama and Clinton, Hillary, they should all be guilty of treason. But let's talk
100%. 100%. I mean, well, you know what? If not, we've got to discuss what treason means and what it doesn't mean in 2025. Because I agree.
They will be conducted. They will be convicted of treason if they get a fair trial. Hey, listen. The Noose thing, what's really interesting, I agree with you 100%. If, in fact, they did not do that diversity training thing, the Noose probably would have never happened.
Agreed.
People are literally fed up and sick and tired of this diversity training crap. No one's, overtly racist anymore, not that I know of. Not on any job, not in any professional environment. I've never seen it. I've never experienced it. I don't believe it even exists. And they just keep shoving it down our throat. We saw that in 8th grade. Enough. It's like, okay, we got it. We're all like, yes, we got it. Yes, okay. But they keep shoving it down people's throats, and I think the people just get a little frustrated with it. And so someone probably said, okay, all right, yeah, let me see how this works. And he made the news and threw it in there, and that's probably what happened.
And what I hate about this, Lenny, is because of something that he was frustrated over. They're going to try. There are entities out there that will try to ruin this person's life. If my speculation is correct and yours, and I think we are, I think we're right, I think exactly that happened, then they're going to try to ruin this guy's life or girls. And it's just sad.
Yeah, it's crazy, and you wonder if this guy could even be black. Right?
Maybe. I mean, you don't know. I mean, yeah, easily. I mean, no doubt. No doubt.
It's just a crazy world, and you know what? Look, I think, like I said, like in 8th grade, 9th grade, this is what they pounded into us. Hey, everybody's like, we're all equal. Da, da, da. I think, back then we got it and moved on. Now, next.
Well, there's so many people, and as I said earlier, and Lenny, thank you for the call. There's so many people making so much money on it. Sadly, they make money on stirring up issues that don't really exist in our daily lives. In my daily life, I interact with people from all different ethnicities, and I'm proud to interact with every single one of them, and I treat every one of them like individuals. I'm a fierce individualist. I believe in the teachings of Martin Luther King, and I believe in the teachings of the Bible. I believe that each man is to his own individual character. More on this coming up in a moment. But good call from Lenny there. It's 31 after the hour on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Boy, we got some heavy rain right now just north of downtown Nashville. City's getting pounded right now. We got Ashland City. You're getting some very heavy rain. Hendersonville, Jolton. So drivers, if you're headed north of downtown, just expect on portions of 24 and 65 right after you get out of the downtown area, you're going to be in for some very heavy rain. Gallatin getting some of that heavy rain as well. It looks like all this stuff is just slowly creeping to the south, but then the storms in this line are slowly creeping to the east. Nothing severe right now, just very heavy rain. We'll keep you apprised. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now in our nation's capital, the Republican majority in the U.S. House is slimmer. Mark Green officially resigning as Tennessee's 7th District Congressman yesterday. Green said he was going to after the One Big Beautiful Bill passed, and it has. Now Green says there is an opportunity for him in the private sector that is, quote, too exciting to pass up. This leaves Speaker Mike Johnson an even slimmer majority, 219 Republicans to 212 Democrats, 4 empty seats. A federal judge has permanently blocked Tennessee's new law that bans recruitment or transport of minors to get an abortion. The ruling comes from U.S. Circuit Judge Julia Gibbons in a lawsuit brought by Nashville Democrat State Rep Afton Benn and Nashville attorney Rachel Welty, who contend Tennessee's 2024 law penalizes someone for simply pointing out where someone who wants an abortion could go to get one where it is legal. Judge Gibbons is an appointee of former President George W. Bush. No response yet from Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti. Entertainment news. Actor Malcolm Jamal Warner has died, best known for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show from 1984 to 1992. Police in Costa Rica say Warner drowned at a beach in Limon. He was caught by a high current in the water. They found him yesterday afternoon. He was vacationing with his family. Warner was 54 years old. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we got a crash with the right lane blocked, 24 eastbound, right near Briley Parkway. That's 24 eastbound, right near Briley Parkway. That is backed up all the way to 440. So now you've got eastbound 440 backing up because everybody's trying to go eastbound on 24. Still got that back up northbound 65 up to the South Loop. Boy, the eastbound South Loop downtown, that is really slow going, too. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
You know, the next time I talk to Dr. Brian McLaughlin, and we talk from time to time because he checks in with me with my sleep apnea and my FDA-approved oral device that I use every night to help me sleep better, not wake up in the middle of the night, not have to worry about my mild to moderate sleep apnea, which I have, but I've solved with the FDA-approved oral device from the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center. But anyway, the next time I talk to him, I'm going to ask him if I can start calling him Dr. B. I kind of like that. Dr. McLaughlin, Dr. Brian McLaughlin, is now in charge of the Murfreesboro and Brentwood offices of the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center, and he's so good at what he does, which is to help provide you a better night's sleep without having to consider a CPAP machine. And for most of us, that's like a no-brainer, right? I mean, I would never have considered a CPAP. However, I have mild to moderate sleep apnea. Do you? If you don't know, you need to know. It's in network for most insurance plans in the state of Tennessee so that they can help you cover the cost of this incredibly, I mean, it's a simple device, but it truly can save your health and save your life in some cases. Go to TennesseeSleep.com. That's TennesseeSleep.com. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you. You know, not only are these guys great at Premier Generators, they are there for you with any questions that you might have. And we've got Sean Merck with us with Premier Generators. You know, they're your number one Generac generator dealer in the state of Tennessee. And Sean, the question for you is, why should every homeowner consider having a backup generator?
When the storms hit and the power drops, let Premier be your light in the dark. A Generac generator keeps your home warm, your fridge is cold, your loved one's safe, and in times like these, peace of mind isn't a luxury, it's a necessity.
That's our man, Sean. And listen, if it's time for you, and I consider it a necessity as well, it's time to get a generator from Premier Generators, your number one Generac generator dealer in the state of Tennessee. You need them. Call 855-797-4766, 855-797-4766. Hi there. Welcome in. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. That music's so good, I almost just want to let it play. You know what I'm saying?
I was getting ready to enter the mosh pit.
Let's go, man. No elbows in the mosh pit, Ken.
No, sir.
No elbows in the mosh pit. There's Ken Weaver. My name's Matt Murphy. In between us, Jackson Williams. This trifecta takes you home every afternoon from 3 until 7 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, whether you like it or not. Hey, I've got a big old movie review coming up. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it at some point.
At some point.
Movie review.
All right.
Of the three of us, by a show of hands, who's seen Superman?
You're talking about the brand new one?
The brand new one.
I have not seen it.
I've seen it. I've got a review.
All right.
It's good.
Spoiler alert?
Spoiler alert, it's good.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, there's a dog in it named Crypto, and I like him too.
Little wiener dog?
Not a little wiener dog, but he's cute, man. He's cute. Look, all of these reports. Well, I'll save it for my movie review. We won't do it now, but
let's get ready to say if we get ready to do it right now.
I mean, I'm going to do it, yeah, because Weaver's learned. If I bring something up and then I start going,
that's the beauty of the Brother Murphy Show.
You know what I am? I'm like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I'm like that dog. when the one
that won't stop.
Yeah, cousin Snots.
Yeah,
Snots. When Cousin Eddie says, but a word of warning, Clark, if he gets going at you, best to just let him finish.
Got to touch that Mississippi leg hound in him, if you know what I mean, Clark.
If he gets going on you, just best let him finish.
So are you going to do the movie review right now?
No.
Okay.
I'm holding it. I'm holding off on it. Malcolm Jamal Warner, dead at the age of 54. That's very sad.
Yeah.
That's I mean, we felt like I felt like there's people of a certain age grew up with him. We grew up with him.
Yep.
On the Cosby Show.
He was on TV every Thursday night.
No doubt. No doubt. And am I not mistaken? Wasn't Malcolm Jamal Warner the one that he at times had trouble getting jobs? I want to say that that's correct. I mean, he got work.
Oh, he got a lot of work.
But I think there was an interview where it was maybe I'm confused. I know what it is. I'm confusing Malcolm Jamal Warner with the other guy on the Cosby Show, the husband
of one of the
older sisters.
Yes,
he actually he was working in a grocery store, and
couldn't find any work.
Could not find work in the acting industry anymore, and resorted to working in a grocery store. And then they had to let him go in the grocery store because people kept stopping him from doing his job.
Yeah.
Because he had been on the Cosby Show. But that was not Malcolm Jamal Warner. I apologize. So, 54 years of age, and that's sad. That's much too soon. But, life is a contact sport, and apparently he drowned in, Costa Rica, Ken?
Costa Rica. Police there say he got caught in some high water, fast current. They found him yesterday afternoon.
4481 says, apparently the dog in the new Superman was a Nashville rescue dog turned into a movie star dog. So that is a story that's been going around, but you have to know something. That is not Crypto, the main dog. The rescue dog is in the film, and I'm not giving anything away. There's a point fairly early in the movie where Superman is battling a bad monster that Lex Luthor unleashes, and he stops the monster from crushing a little dog, and this is just a little random dog. And he has to save that little dog. That's the rescue dog. Believe it or not, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but Crypto the dog, and you will not be able to tell it. Crypto, the dog in Superman, is all CGI. And it's hard to believe, but it's true. It's all computer generated.
Did y'all ever see the Crypto cartoon?
I did not.
Great show.
Did not. Are you a comic book guy?
I catch the movies, and I was much more into it, I would say, 3 or 4 years ago than I am now.
You going to watch the Superman flip?
Eventually. I want to go see F1 before I go see Superman.
I want to see F1 as well. So Lindsay is smiling at me about a spoiler. Nah, what do you mean? That's not, I mean, I said it was CGI. That's not a spoiler. That's just a technical feature that, I'm not trying to spoil anything. I'm bad about doing spoilers, oh boy.
Batman's parents are dead.
Don't! I was going to watch it tonight. Who killed him? Huh? Canon? Not canon.
It was the Joker, right?
Or nah, they changed it to that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I'm awful. Man, I'm awful about it. I will spoil crap, and I don't mean to, and I'm sorry. So let's get off the subject. Bill is next. Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great, Bill. I hope you are.
Oh, I'm kind of a little warm, waiting on my daughter to get off work out here in the parking lot with the window down.
Uh-oh.
I got a little
stay cool out
that
there.
I wanted to share with you. Yeah, I'm trying. Well, I can run my F&D too, but I'm just not.
Yes, sir.
I got a little statistic that I looked up on the internet with all this new stuff going around and being offended about it. I did a little research on the internet, and I found that throughout recorded history, I can't attest to this being 100% accurate, but on the internet, it says 7,948 African-American or black, whatever you want to refer to them as, were hanged by a noose. And 14,800 white people were hanged by a noose. Now, the bad one here is 78,940 Native American were hanged by a noose.
Wow.
So the least of the ones that were hanged are the ones that are more offended.
Well, certainly the ones that get attention, because that is where the money-making angle of this, and I don't suggest that everyone is involved in that, but where people make their money being perpetually offended or being perpetually insistent that racism continues, those are the organizations. Those are the ones that are getting the attention. Yeah, you're correct.
Yes, I understand that. Now, I am offended by one thing that you keep saying.
Let's do it.
You keep referring to them as in the intelligence, and I haven't seen 1 ounce of intelligence with them.
You mean
a ton of ignorance. I mean the intelligence people, the government.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, there's no intelligence. There's a ton of ignorance, but no intelligence.
Well, that's probably, you know what? That's a fair correction, Bill. Fair correction. That's fair.
I appreciate you taking my call.
Yes, sir. Thank you for making it. Brian is next. That's fair. Brian, what's going on?
Good afternoon, Matt.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, you stole a lot of my thunder there. I also believe that whoever did the noose did it out of spite, and I don't blame them. I'm sick of DEI, and it's only the equity part that I have a problem with, because that's the most racist thing that they ever could have come up with. It's like affirmative action on steroids, and I think that we've had enough of that in America for long enough. And I personally felt like in my lifetime, before Obama got in office, America was finally done with all that. We put it behind us. And then the great divider in chief, Obama, came along and stirred it up and divided the entire nation. And it seems like it was part of a plan, and it obviously was, because they got it into our public schools, they got it into our colleges. They're trying to corrupt us from within, and it's just like in 1 Timothy 4, 1 through 2, the Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. Such teachings come from the hypocritical liars whose consciences have been seared as with a hot iron. You know, it's these people are evil. I mean, it's when strong people have produced prosperous times, like when people were strong in the faith during the era of like World War II. You know, we were able to defeat the axis of evil with God's help. But we need a revival in this country. People need to follow God again. We need people to repent to get rid of these evil people in the country that want to destroy the nation.
Well, there's plenty of them, and long before we had a nation, we had evil people. Long before we had a country, we had poor folk and rich folk and good folk and bad folk. That's kind of the nature of an imperfect world. And I don't pretend to be a theologian along those fronts, but I mean that is
Matt,
the fabric of the world.
Matt, it's like they persecute us. Whenever somebody does that news, they'll probably do touch genetics and figure out which one that it was that made the noose, and then they'll crucify him. They're the minority, and they terrorize us. And I'm sick of it. We're the majority. I think that it's high time that whenever they pull this little DEI stuff, that all of us band together and say, okay, we're sick of this. We're going to put you out of business. Prosecute them.
Well, I fully understand and support the idea that there is a strong possibility that there's a lot of people over at that stadium site making mountains out of molehills for their own purposes. But that doesn't – but I would say this too, Brian. That doesn't negate the fact that you got to be smarter than that. Why would we give people that want to shoot us with bullets the ammunition to do it?
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
But the bigger issue is that you're pushing people in these directions, and when they push back a little bit in their own way, you destroy them.
Exactly.
And that is quite problematic. Great call. Thank you, Brian, for making it. Got to run. It is 51 after the hour. You're listening to Super. Don't forget Ricky Skaggs coming up after the top of the hour.
Yes, sir.
Plus Nincompoops in the news. Matt Murphy's review of Superman. And I still haven't gotten into the meat and potatoes of the bombshell story that came out Friday last on Clapper, Brennan, Comey, and Obama. We'll get into that next on Super Talk. When it comes to home repairs, a lot of times homeowners want to pretend that things aren't going wrong. Well, if you've noticed the telltale signs, odds are things are going wrong, or it could be nothing. And you could get peace of mind with a simple call to USS, United Structural Systems. They are your experts when it comes to your home's foundation. They're your experts when it comes to waterproofing your home and concrete leveling of your home. Homeowners simply trust USS and have for a long, long time, and with good reason, because they have so many qualified reviews. I mean, frankly, folks, why would you go anywhere else? You wouldn't. Why would you call anyone else? You shouldn't. Because USS is there to complete the task, do what is needed, and never anything more. Charge you what is appropriate and never anything more. USS stands for United Structural Systems. Call 615-488-7855, 488-7855, or USSTN.com. Hello, folks. Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. U.S. Pest, owned by J.K. and Erica Brister. Fine folks, great people, and they can help protect you from the things that are trying to invade your home. They're small, in some cases, microscopic. You know, fleas, ants, ticks. These are things that want to take over your home, and sadly, they've become organized in their efforts, and they want to get to your house and take over what's yours and eat your food and enjoy your AC and whatnot. Let's stop them from doing so. Let's get to U.S. Pest. USPest.com, online, USPest.com, full-service pest control, termite protection, crawl space service available. The purpose of pest control is simple. The very existence of pest control is to prevent insects and rodents from bringing disease and that ick and nasty facet with them onto your property. And we can eliminate it by contacting USS. You need USS in their monthly service. Go to USSPest.com. That's USPest.com. So I'm conflating advertisers there. USPest.com, or call them. I know this number's right. 590-1260. 590-1260. For our friends, the one and only US Pest.
Well, the Republican majority in the House is slimmer. Tennessee's law banning recruitment and transport of minors to get abortions has been blocked by a federal judge. We'll tell you about these stories and more coming up at 5 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, thank you, Ken Weaver. Let's give you a thought or two about what the bombshell was and what it was not that was delivered Friday last, and it's been percolating over the weekend. Big news breaking in the final days of his presidency. According to recently unveiled receipts from National Department, DE&I, our intelligence director, our director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, has unveiled that according to documents from the time period in the final months of the Obama administration, the existence of what she determined to be a treasonous plot, those are her words, to undermine President Trump and persuade the public that there was something illegitimate about his victory in 2016 existed, and it went all the way to the President of the United States of America. The old line from Watergate is, what did the President know and when did he know it? Well, apparently the President knew all about this, and he knew about it from the higher-ups within his administration. In the final days of his presidency, Barack Obama pushed intelligence officials to ignore evidence to the contrary and exaggerate evidence to demonstrate Russian malfeasance in the 2016 presidential election and collusion with the Trump campaign. Gabbard, explaining the details of that plot on Fox News, said over 100 documents we released detail and provide evidence of how this conspiracy was directed by Barack Obama just weeks before he was due to leave office and after President Trump had gotten elected. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue so serious it should concern every single American because it has to do with the integrity of our Democrat republic. This is the real coup or attempted coup. And it is possible that this is the most alarming act of what some are calling treason since when? Since, I don't know, Lee Harvey Oswald? John Wilkes Booth? We shall discuss, but only after we have a brief respite from political talk and have a visit with the legendary Ricky Skaggs. He's coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. They just reopened his new recording studio, his old again, new again recording studio, Skaggs Place, it's called. It officially has reopened. We'll talk to him about that. Plus, he's got an event coming up tomorrow night at the Ryman. Good to speak with Ricky Skaggs, and we'll do so next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Five o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got some heavy rain right now around downtown Nashville, especially East Nashville, Ashland City getting some very heavy rain. Mount Juliet, you're getting some of that. Lebanon, you too. All this part of a line of showers and thunderstorms slowly creeping. This line is going south, but the storms are going east in the line. None of them are severe. Just dropping a lot of rain right now, cooling things off. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Well, the Republican majority in the U.S. House is slimmer. Mark Green officially resigning as Tennessee's 7th District Congressman yesterday. It leaves 219 Republicans and 212 Democrats and 4 open seats in the House. Green said he would resign after the One Big Beautiful Bill passes, and it did. Green citing what he calls an opportunity too good to pass up in the private sector. Tennessee's law banning recruitment and transport of minors to get abortions is blocked. U.S. Circuit Judge Julia Gibbons ruled in favor of a lawsuit brought by Nashville Democrat State Rep Afton Benn and Nashville attorney Rachel Welty, who claim it hurts people who might simply tell someone wanting an abortion where they can go to get one. No response yet from Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti. The judge who ruled against the law was appointed by former President George W. Bush. Actor Malcolm Jamal Warner has died, best known for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show from 1984 to 1992.
Maybe you can just accept who I am and love me anyway. Because I'm your son.
Theo, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more on the legacy that Warner leaves behind.
He was adored. He was TV royalty, and he's known for playing Theodore Huxtable on The Cosby Show, winning an Emmy nod. He also starred in the sitcom Malcolm and Eddie and voiced the cartoon The Magic School Bus. He won a Grammy in 2015, so he was talented in every way. And obviously, he died so incredibly young, and so many people are just shocked.
Yeah, police in Costa Rica say Warner drowned at a beach in Limon, and he was caught by a high current in the water, and he was vacationing with his family at the time of his death. Safety recall for above-ground pools. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission recalling 5 million pools, 48 inches and higher, sold by outdoor recreation companies Bestway, Intex, and Polygroup. They've been linked to the drowning deaths of 9 children over the last 2 decades. Talking about children between 22 months and 3 years old. The pools, which were manufactured in China, have a compression strap along the outside that can allow children to gain access and drown. Officials say consumers should contact Bestway, Intex, and Polygroup for a free repair kit. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got an injury crash at Harding Place and Tampa Drive. And then the right lane is blocked. 24 eastbound near Briley Parkway South due to a crash. TDOT reporting that. Got another one, 24 downtown eastbound as you're approaching I-40 there at the eastern split. And then in Franklin, Highway Patrol reporting a crash 65 southbound near I-840. In Clarksville, Highway Patrol reporting a crash 24 westbound approaching MLK Parkway. And then in Hermitage, left shoulder's blocked by a crash 40 eastbound near Old Hickory Boulevard. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Indeed, it's the Matt Murphy Show. Thank you for being with us. 5:07. Good afternoon. Welcome in. All of you just getting off work. A nasty little squall of severe weather. Raindrops falling across Music Row in downtown Nashville. Be on the alert for that if you're out and about, getting in your cars, your automobiles on the way home. It'll be there when you get there, so just be safe out of doors. We thank you for that, and we'll keep you up to date as to those things. You know, we expect these things this type of year, right? I mean, there's, pop-up showers and thunderstorms and whatnot in the summertime, and it'll cool things off, and that is rather nice.
Yeah, 79 degrees now.
What?
79 degrees in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, but what's the heat index?
The heat index is only 83.
You beat me to it, Murphy. I had it loaded.
I have a well-established hatred of the heat index. You were ready to go with that one, Jackson?
I was ready to ask him, what's the real feel, Brother Weaver?
Yeah, what's it really feel? Oh, it's 79, but it feels, look, 79. One way or the other, it's cooling things off, but unto each life some rain must fall. And we're glad that it's fallen because that keeps everything nice and green. We'll get back to the politics of the day coming up in moments. I'll continue to share with you this bombshell that came down on Friday. We'll also discuss the Hunter Biden interview that dropped earlier today. I've got a few things to say about that, but we'll suspend all of that conversation for a moment. Let me tell you something. I've been doing what I do on the radio in various formats since I was 14 years old. I was first hired at WTHO 101.7, your better country FM, at the age of 14. That was in 1987.
1887, you mean?
That would be 1987. Probably feels like 1887 to you, Jackson, as you are still wet behind the ears and just fresh out of diapers.
That was 12 years before I was born.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm aware. If you're trying to make me feel old, it's not going to work. I feel it in my back. But let me tell you something. So I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing talk radio for a long time, and rare it is the occasion that I get to talk to somebody that truly makes me nervous. Because when I was a 14-year-old boy at WTHO, and we would run automation on the weekends, and I was just there manning the automation, I would sneak back to the 45 records, and I would pick out 45s, and I would listen to them. And I listened to this guy. He, some of his incredible hits were out, and Uncle Pen and Country Boy and Cajun Moon, and he made me understand what country music was at a time when country music was changing, and he made me a fan to this day of bluegrass music. And his name is Ricky Skaggs. He's internationally famous. He needs no introduction. And he joins us on the Matt Murphy Show, I'm proud to say. Mr. Skaggs, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. Boy, what a story there. You're 14, huh?
14 years old. And, I thought, it was a time where things were changing a lot. And I don't begrudge change, and I know you don't either. But what you were able to do, and it's fascinating, is that you introduced me to people that kind of maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but formed you. You introduced me to people like Bill Monroe and Mr. Ralph Stanley and those that came before you, and how country music was formulated back in the day. So I thank you for that.
honoring the fathers. You can never go wrong when you honor the fathers, and mothers.
Yes, sir.
And so we've got a lot of great memories of Dr. Ralph, and Keith Whitley and I met him when we were 15 years old. His bus broke down, and over in West Virginia, he was going to be playing this little old beer joint over there. Of course, we were 15. We couldn't get in and couldn't drive. So Dad took us over, and we took our instruments with us because Dad always said, don't leave home without them. So he should have made a little extra cash on the American Express slogan. But anyway, Ralph had a flat tire, called the little beer joint and said, I'm going to be late, and so I have no idea how the beer joint owner knew that we played music, but he come up to the table where we were sitting and asked if we could get up and do a few songs while Ralph was getting there. Well, man, Dad was right again, so we went out in the car and got him and brought him in, and only bad thing about that was the only songs that Keith and I knew were Stanley Brothers songs. So here Ralph finally comes in about 30, 40 minutes later, and we're standing up on stage singing his songs. And he told me later that he thought they were playing the jukebox, playing old Stanley Brothers songs. But when he walked in and saw us up there playing, he was really, really surprised. But anyway, it started a great friendship with us. We joined the band. We got out of school. I did not want to go back for my senior year, but my mother was ready to slap the taste out of my mouth if I didn't. So I honored her and went ahead and finished school. Ralph said, "You boys might need a good education, And so anyway, we loved Ralph and loved Mr. Monroe.
Well, and we love you, and obviously, I mean, from those days to now, I mean, do you ever stop? Do you ever pause to just look back on it and let it wash over you? I mean, what a wonderful journey. And we feel like we've been there every step of the way because we've watched the arc of music. We've watched your music change to a degree. I mean, does it ever kind of wash over you? Just keep focusing forward.
Well, I just try to look ahead and see what makes me hungry to play. That was one of the main reasons that we started. That we came back kind of to bluegrass in 1996 and did Bluegrass Rules, and that was a Grammy Award-winning record. First record. When we came out of country, because the reason we got out of country, the country was really, really changing. It was the big bus tours. I mean, you had to have 12 or 14 buses and play, more contemporary country music at the time, to be able to play out and draw people. So I don't know. When Mr. Monroe passed away in 1996, I just really had a yearning in my heart to go back to the music of my youth and pick up kind of where he left off and not try to take his place. Nobody could take Bill Monroe's place, but just to be able to honor him and Ralph and Carter and Flat and Scruggs and people like that I grew up around. I got to be on Flat and Scruggs television show when I was 7, and you can see it on YouTube, and it's amazing. And but I've had such history with those people, and I just want to let all my fans know, where my roots ran to, and that was the reason every time we would, get up for an award or something like that on CMA Award Show or Music City News Award Show, I would always try to get Mr. Monroe to get up on stage with me and play and sing, just to honor him. A lot of the younger audience didn't really know who he was, but I certainly did, and it was just a good thing. I mean, those are things that you feel good about, and you lay your head down at night and say that was good, and I'm happy I got to do that.
Well, when I was a kid, I thought Bill Monroe was your uncle, and he was Uncle Penn. I mean, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, you saw the Country Boy video. I'm sure.
That's exactly right. So I mean, but now it's got to be gratifying for you, and I feel. I mean, I know that you're a humble guy, but it's got to be gratifying that the younger artists, wherever they are from, whatever genre they are in, they seem to be gravitating to you because you're kind of. You are the go-to guy. You're carrying on that legacy of the roots of that music, and you know, whether it's the Whites or Lady Antebellum and so many different collaborations that you've had with younger artists, you kind of are offering that same thing that was offered to you by the older generation.
Yeah, I just you know, I love the young guys and girls, especially, you know, I'm hearing 80s and 90s country coming back, you know, and getting strong again. And of course, Billy Strings is just doing a blow up job of doing bluegrass playing. You know, I'm just so proud of that guy. They're just doing great. They're selling out arenas with just bluegrass music. I just think it's the greatest. I mean, Mr. Monroe would love that. And but you know, I've been really kind of hankering to you know. In 96, I brought, well, even in 81, I brought my bluegrass into country because I wanted to do country that could get played on the radio, but I wanted to be able to use my mandolins, banjos, and fiddles mix them as loud as the electric guitar and the pedal steel guitar. And so that was really successful for me through the 80s and mid-90s. And then I just really thought I would like to play after Mr. Monroe passed away. I wanted to go back and just play bluegrass again. And but now I'm after being back in bluegrass for so long and seeing it prosper and do so well, I'm really kind of hankering to get back, you know, and bring some of my country music into my bluegrass. And so that's what we're gonna do some tomorrow night at the Ryman. We're playing the Bluegrass Series. I think we're batting cleanup. I think we're the last show of the series, but we'll be playing there tomorrow night at 7:30, and it'll be a great show. We're certainly going to be doing some of our old country as well as a bunch of good hot bluegrass. I've got the best band, man. They're just incredible players and singers, and so it's going to really be a fun night.
That's nice. And by the way, I invite everybody, you go to Ryman.com, get those tickets for tomorrow night's show if there are any still available, and if there's probably a few out there, you can get them. And go and wish Mr. Skaggs a belated happy birthday. By the way, I'm remiss. Belated happy birthday to you.
Yeah, 71. I don't feel a day over 70.
Right. Well, and you celebrated your birthday, I guess, a little early by reopening your studio in Hendersonville. Tell us a little about that.
Oh man, yes, we have a world-class studio. We did a big renovation, and we've got this world-class studio in a quiet little town in Hendersonville. So if you want to get out of Nashville and actually come to studio that's got every microphone known to man. I've been collecting microphones since I came to town in 1981. Wow. But yeah, it's a great space. It's very creative space. Lots of wood. We've got Pro Tools, but we've also got 2-inch analog. If you really want to buy the tape and do it, we can still do that. So it's a great place to cut, and we're just so happy. It's called Skaggs Place, and we're working on our website right now. Just about got that finished, but yeah, it's going to be a great thing, and it was a great birthday present was to get to open it close to my birthday.
I don't want to bore you with my stories because I'm much more interested in yours. But when I first got to Nashville in 2021, I'm an old school country music fan. I love your stuff. I love it, all the old guys. And I was living in Goodlettsville at the time, and I drove over to Hendersonville, and I was going to find Johnny Cash's house, right? Because I knew that Mr. Cash lived in Hendersonville on the lake. And I went and I found the guard shack, and I found the sign. And Mr. Skaggs, I sat outside that house for about 30 minutes going, well, where's the house? What? I don't understand. Nobody told me that it had burned down. Nobody told me.
I know. That was so sad.
It was sad.
Barry Gibb was a dear friend of mine, and he
bought
his
the
wife
place,
had
right?
Bought the house,
Right.
Yeah, and they were renovating the house, and I guess some paint. They put some paint thinner or something like that to take some of the paint off the walls, and left it like that overnight. Was going to scrape it all off the next day, because June had a lot of paint inside that house, and because we were there many times, and but it, Marty Stewart called me, and he said, "Skaggs, look out your window." And we live up on top of this really tall hill up here in Hendersonville. We can see all the way to Nashville from here. And I looked over, and there was a big plume of smoke going up, and it was Cash's house.
Wow.
It was so sad to see. And but
well, that
sorry you didn't get to see it.
Well, I'm sorry too.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the great thing: I get to see you performing bluegrass at the Ryman Auditorium tomorrow night. And are you doing some touring this year? Is that something that you got lined up?
Yeah. This is the first year in a long time that we've actually lease the bus full time, not just lease it when we need it, but lease it month after month, and so we've been out touring quite a bit, and we're getting ready to go back out on a Texas run here pretty soon, and I got 4 dates out there, and but yeah, we got quite a few dates all the way through the end of the year, doing some Christmas shows too, and we'll be doing 8 or 10 Christmas shows in December, so we love doing those.
Well, I love talking to you. I could do it all day. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for what you've meant to so many lives, including mine. You just bring so much joy to us. You take the old, you introduce it to us, you make it new again, you reinvent it. You keep we love every single moment of it. And I just appreciate so much you being willing to spend a little time with us this afternoon.
Well, thank you, Matt. We love what you guys do all day long, and we love 99.7. We got it on our radio on FM. I've loved to blast it in the evenings when I go around through the day. So we listen to you guys a lot,
Well, you're very kind, and let's fill up Ryman tomorrow night and maybe introduce a few folks to the bluegrass sound.
Sounds like a good thing. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Take care, Mr. Skaggs.
Thank you, Matt.
All right. There's Ricky Skaggs, great Ricky Skaggs. He's won like 15 Grammy Awards, more country music awards than you can possibly imagine, and is the Hall of Fame. He probably has more inductions into the Hall of Fame than I've worked at radio stations. And that's a lot.
He's got, he had 11 number ones.
Wow. Uncle Pen was one of them. I remember, boy. And that was hot. Uncle Pen was hot.
I like that country boy song too, man.
Country boy at heart. Yeah. You don't even know what you missed, Jackson. You missed a lot. Thank you to Mr. Skaggs, Mr. Ricky Skaggs, for joining us on the show 24 after the hour. We'll get back to it in a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, folks, Aaron Stokes has been building his brand for 26 years and doing a great job of it. He fixes European cars at Eurofix, and Eurofix is growing by leaps and bounds and have been for some time. Their latest shop is in Mount Juliet. They've been there for over a year or so now, but you need to go by and say hello to them if you've never been. Across the street from the Dairy Queen, Eurofix can serve you in Franklin, 100 Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and yes, Mount Juliet. Pretty cool watching a small-town mechanic starting at a barn build his brand and his business to 5 separate locations, serving literally thousands of cars on a monthly basis. At Eurofix, you get a 3-year nationwide warranty, a free loaner car with every repair appointment. Call 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX, or visit myEurofix.com.
Heavy rain right now in Middle Tennessee. In fact, we have three counties under a severe thunderstorm warning. Southeastern Davidson, northwestern Rutherford, northeastern Williamson counties under a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45. And the majority getting slimmer for Republicans in the U.S. House. Got that story and more coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
You got my, by the way, speaking of stories coming up, you got my edited clips over there, Jackson?
You have
ready
them.
to go? I have them?
Yes.
Well, they're on my laptop. You're telling me I have to open up, because I have to open up my email on the hardline computer. I think it would be much, much easier for you to play them.
I'll play them.
I think that would be much easier for everybody.
Okay.
That'd be real easy for me.
Thank you for sending them to me. I appreciate that. I may announce that Hunter Biden is my nincompoop in the news. I may.
I know where you're going.
Oh, my goodness. Ken,
it'd be a good one.
I hesitated to even ask Jackson. I said, Jackson, I got a couple of clips for you, but I need you to bleep just one or two things out of them. I thought he was going to quit on me. I mean, good gracious.
It took me a long time. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, yeah. I mean, was I right? I warned Jackson. I said, I don't even know if I want you to do this because it will take so much of your time. There are a lot of F-bombs in this clip.
F-bombs, S-bombs, B-bombs, T-bombs. Every word you can't say, he said.
T-bombs. What's a T? I don't even know what a T-bomb is, but it's bad. And
it's in there.
It's in there. He said it. We'll share some of that with you coming up in a couple of minutes as well. And as Ken Weaver noted, there are, thunder boomers moving through Middle Tennessee right now. So y'all be on the lookout for those if you're just getting off work and out and about. It's 5:30. It's time for news. Nincompoops is on the way as well. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$5:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. It is the weather. We've got severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Davidson County, northwestern Rutherford County, northeastern Williamson County until 5:45. That's about 15 more minutes. Right now, a severe thunderstorm is moving southeast at 45 miles per hour, capable of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which is enough to damage a roof, siding, and trees. Murfreesboro, Franklin, Nashville, Smyrna, Brentwood, Laverne, Nolensville, Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Belmead, Walter Hill, Antioch, Berry Hill, Triune, and Rockville, all in the path of this storm. And, of course, if you're on the interstates, you're right there in it. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. The majority getting slimmer for Republicans in the U.S. House. Mark Green officially resigned as Tennessee's 7th District Congressman yesterday. He had said earlier this year he was going to resign after President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill passed, citing what Green said is an opportunity in the private sector, quote, too good to pass up. So as of now, the House has 219 Republicans to 212 Democrats and 4 empty seats. A federal judge has blocked Tennessee's so-called abortion trafficking law, saying it violates free speech. U.S. Circuit Judge Julia Gibbons, a President George W. Bush appointee, ruling in favor of a lawsuit brought by Nashville Democrat State Rep Afton Bain and Nashville attorney Rachel Welty, who claimed the law bans anyone simply telling a minor where they can get an abortion legally. No response yet from Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti. Entertainment news. Malcolm Jamal Warner, best known for playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, has died. Police in Costa Rica say Warner drowned at a beach in Limon after getting caught by a high current in the water. His body was found yesterday afternoon. Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54 years old. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Once again, we got very heavy rain right now over parts of Davidson, Rutherford, and Williamson County. So that's going to impact you drivers, especially Interstate 65 between mile markers 69 and 82, 24 between 52 and 78, and I-840 between 42 and 64. Got a crash right now reported by police by the airport. Going to be 40 westbound near Donaldson Pike. Then in Clarksville, got a crash. Highway Patrol reporting this one, 24 westbound approaching MLK Parkway. In Hermitage, left shoulder blocked by crash, 40 eastbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. And in Murfreesboro, Highway Patrol says there's a crash 24 westbound just west of I-840. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Defend Systems is an active shooter and physical security location that can help you in a dangerously developing world. Defend Systems deals with, everything that involves active shooter response, workplace violence, security improvement through consultation services, emergency and intruder action plans, rapid response medical training. All of this is for the employees of your facility, for the people that work in your school, for the people that work in your church or any place that people gather. Now, understand something. We're talking about dangerous times. We're talking about dangerous events. But it does not mean that that's going to happen to you necessarily. No one's trying to scare you, but the possibility of something like this happening to you is not zero. That means hope is not a plan, folks. We need to be trained. We need to be ready. That's what it's all about at Defend Systems. So give them a call today at 615-236-6484, 236-6484, or online for Brink and his team at defendsystems.com. Tell them I sent you to defendsystems.com. Folks, it's Matt Murphy for the Men of Valor organization. What a wonderful group of people and what a wonderful organization that they have put together, and I am excited to be able to tell you all about them. Men of Valor is a ministry primarily funded by individuals like you, families, and churches. Your support allows Men of Valor to win men in prison to Jesus Christ, to disciple them so that they can reenter society as men of integrity, as givers as opposed to takers. In 2024, they ministered to well over 3,000 men. Did you know that 90% plus of men who are in prison are getting out? Well, what type of men do you want coming out? Do you want career criminals coming out? Do you want recidivists coming out? Or do you want men of principled integrity? That's what Men of Valor helps create. They equip men with the tools and resources they need to succeed upon being released, including housing, food, clothing, transportation, ID, employment, recovery groups, counseling, mentors, and so much more. And they need your help. Will you volunteer today? Will you give as you can? Go to movministry.com and save the date of October 1st. They have their big event coming up at the factory in Franklin. Tim Tebow will be there. Demi Lee Tebow will be there. Matt Murphy will be there. I hope you are too. The second annual Men of Valor Gala. Just mark the date, and I'll tell you when tickets are on sale. It's October 1st. Go to movministry.com. All right, weather moving through the area. If you are on the way home, you probably already know that as raindrops are falling in a large portion of the listening area. Be on the alert, be on the lookout. Nasty, nasty.
Heavy rain, man. I mean, heavy rain.
Yeah, coming down, boys, coming down. So 38 after the hour, we'll get back into the subject matter of the bombshell report by Tulsi Gabbard offering receipts. And the media largely is attempting to ignore this. The mainstream media, to include the nastiness that is #NeverCNN. I watch this garbage so you don't have to. Why do I say #NeverCNN? Because you should never watch CNN. Do not support these people. It's a garbage network full of garbage people spewing garbage. I'll watch so you don't have to, and I'll report. And all day long, I've watched this, where they say, well, Donald Trump's attempting to ignore Epstein by bringing up other things. So suddenly they're interested in the Epstein files. This same garbage media network that never once brought up the Epstein files during the Biden administration, they didn't seem to give a rip. Why didn't the Biden administration release all of this? Why didn't the Biden White House, why didn't the Biden DOJ release all of these things? They could have. I didn't see Jake Tapper and Wolf Blitzer and all the rest of these nincompoops screaming about it then. They've only decided to scream about it now because they think Orange Man bad and this might be a negative story for Donald Trump. Okay? So y'all just know where the motivation is here. Now, I want to get to the bottom of Jeffrey Epstein too. But guess who can chew bubble gum and walk down the street at the same time? He's also got two thumbs, and it's this guy right here. You ever heard that one, Jackson?
Yes. Careful with that arm movement. Don't want to mess up the shoulder.
I can do that. I just can't go up. I can't go. I can't do. You know.
Be careful.
Thank you, Jackson. I appreciate you thinking about me. That's a fine executive producer.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. More on that coming up in a moment. But speaking of nincompoops, well, it's time for nincompoops.
Nincompoops in the news.
I ought to just say hashtag never CNN, win the day, and be done with it. I ought to, but I'm not. I got another nincompoop in mind. This is a time where we break down some of the stories that you may not have heard throughout the course of the day. Maybe Ken Weaver's got a story out of nonsense nowhere about some idiot that he considers a nincompoop. Perhaps Jackson has found a story that he finds of interest to you that doesn't involve a naked person. I don't know. Maybe Matt Murphy's found one. Either way, we've all got one, and we'll present it to you, and you get to vote. 615-737-9986. We call it Nincompoops in the News. Jackson, you want to deliver the news to Ken Weaver about how his boy did in his absence?
Weaver almost had Jay Harper almost had a clean sweep last week.
Almost a clean sweep over there in the news department.
Oh, way to go, brother Jay Harper.
How about that? But that means that you get to go first because Jay was the big winner for Rye Day. How about that?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you boys stop me if Jay already did this.
We're gonna throw it down.
All right. Former Tennessee reality TV star arrested after reportedly attacking woman with a sock full of rocks at Walmart.
How did we miss this one?
Where have you been all our lives, Weaver? We missed this. Go.
A former reality TV star from Middle Tennessee was arrested at a Walmart on Friday after she allegedly attacked another person with a sock filled with rocks. That's in the arrest affidavit. On Friday, July 18th, officers with the Metro Nashville Police Department were called to 3035 Hamilton Church Road in reference to the alleged assault. Officers spoke with the victim who said she was using the self-checkout when the suspect, 21-year-old Diamond Tancard, came from behind and grabbed her by the hair. After the attack, the victim said Tancard took her $1,500 iPhone 14 and her $900 Louis Vuitton handbag. Officers found a laceration above the victim's left eye on her forehead. According to the victim's grandmother, Tancard had a sock filled with rocks and used it to strike the victim in the Walmart. Walmart staff provided security footage of the incident, which confirmed it. Tancard was arrested and charged with theft of property and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She bailed out on a $25,000 bond. Now, in December, Tancard was charged with attempted first-degree murder after she allegedly intentionally struck a woman with her vehicle on November 29th.
Jeez, Manelli.
Tancard was a reality TV child star who appeared on Bravo's Thicker Than Water, a show about Ben Tancard and his family, a music producer and pastor of a Murfreesboro church, Destiny Center.
I'm just imagining the conversation. Hey, I got charged. What'd you get charged with? Attempted murder? Wow. Yeah, deadly weapon. What was the deadly weapon? Sock of rocks.
I mean, that takes...
Sock of rocks.
That kind of takes some planning. I know what.
You got to get some rocks and you got to get a sock.
I'm going to grab a sock and I'm going to fill it with rocks.
And I'm going to bop.
Yes, it takes planning.
That's dangerous.
Where in the world am I going to find a bunch of rocks?
Parking lot.
Outside the Walmart.
Yeah. Okay. I thought when you said he hit him in the Walmart, I thought you were going, on the location on the body. Where?
No.
Do we know where on the body? I would hate to get hit in the Walmart.
Well, she had a laceration to her head. The victim had a laceration to the head and got her hair pulled.
Better than getting hit in the perineum. And I only know about the perineum because of these stupid commercials on TV. I never wanted to know what the perineum was, but I know now. I'd rather get hit in the head by a vote. Head or perineum, sock or rocks.
What region is the perineum?
You don't want to know, Ken.
It is, when we were kids, Ken.
Yes, sir.
We used to call it the taint.
I'd rather be hit in the head, I
would
think.
too. I would too. Jackson?
The head, Murphy.
Yeah, I guarantee you, every dude on the super text line right now saying, in the head, in the head, in the head, in the head. I mean, there's just some places you don't go. But we'll go to story number 2. That's a great story, Ken.
Thank you.
It involves Walmart. It involves a sock of rocks.
Yeah, Channel 4 had that story.
Sock full of rocks.
Sock full of rocks, baby.
I like that. I can't believe we missed it. Jackson, your floor, sir.
All right, we're going up to Maine, where a man refused to climb down from a homeowner's roof because he believed drugs were in the chimney, police say. A man was taken into police custody after officials as well as crisis negotiators were on the scene of an incident on 14th Street Wednesday morning. This is in Bangor, Maine. According to police, 39-year-old Stephen Nason climbed onto a roof and refused to come down. The homeowner told this news station she and her boyfriend began hearing something on the roof at about 4 a.m., and then they went to the back deck and saw a ladder up against the back of the home. That's when they saw Nason on the roof, although they'd never seen Nason before. When they asked him what he was doing, they said he yelled down to them that he was trying to retrieve the drugs out of the chimney. They called police, and when Bangor Fire and police responded, the fire department put up a basket near the roof. The resident's boyfriend said Nason then jumped from the roof to the basket, grabbed the axe that was attached to it, and jumped back onto the roof. He jumped from our roof to the basket, retrieved the axe, then proceeded to chop holes in our roof.
So he jumped.
The fire chief.
Why did you leave the axe in there?
The fire chief said they used the basket as an attempt to treat someone in crisis with dignity and respect, but that plan backfired. We wouldn't have expected that, he said. It's nothing we would pre-plan. We certainly don't train for that. It happened. Yeah, it was an unexpected consequence of trying to do something nice for him.
Holy crap, the fire department gave me an axe.
Bangor police called the incident abnormal in the fact that it went on as long as it did, but dealing with people in crisis is part of the job. Police said Nason was taken into custody at around 11:30 a.m. after surrendering. He was then sent to a local hospital for physical and mental health evaluation. Nason has been charged with aggravated criminal mischief, creating a police standoff, and violating probation.
Dude, we said the chimney was cracked, not that it was full of crack. Idiot.
So he grabbed the axe and just started going to town on the roof.
He had to get the drugs out, Ken.
So they sent up a little basket that they, probably have loaded with items that they need.
Left an axe.
And they left an axe in there, and he comes up and says, just jump in the basket. We'll get you down, buddy. And he jumps in the basket, grabs the axe, jumps out of the basket, and starts wailing on these people's roof.
Wonder if insurance is going to cover that.
And if I'm the homeowner, I'm looking at the fire chief like, hey, man.
What?
Why did we leave the axe in there?
You're kind of making it worse.
You want a little extra tidbit to the story?
Yes, sir.
He was half naked for most of it.
Yes.
Of course he was.
So no pants or shirt?
No shirt.
No shirt. All right.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Maybe it was hot.
It's summertime.
It is Bangor, Maine. You know what they say about Bangor?
I take talk like this.
That's Stephen King lived in Bangor, Maine.
Yeah.
I think Bangor. I think that's right.
Something like that.
Something like that. Whatever. Before he got nutty. All right, mine. I don't know that I can beat that one, Jackson, or Ken's for that matter. But I'll give it a go.
Let's hear it, Brother Murphy.
Earlier this month, in a Florida version of what we would call a golden shower.
Oh dear God.
That's just the first half of the first sentence, boys.
Oh goodness.
A New York advertising executive was arrested early Saturday morning for allegedly urinating from a rooftop bar On to multiple victims below, according to police. Matthew Day, 30 years of age, was busted for disorderly conduct following a 1:30 in the morning incident at The Landing, appropriately named.
Yes, sir.
A downtown St. Petersburg night spot that describes itself as an elevated hangout balcony bar. Cops charged that Day, I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often on Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really
man.
surprised it doesn't happen more often.
Let's not give him any ideas.
No, that's true. Cops charged that Day, quote, entered the rooftop bar, pulled his pants down, pulled his business out of his shorts, and urinated from the balcony onto the sidewalk. Goodness. Several passersby were struck.
Oh, man.
Man, it's a tough time to be a passerby. Security spotted Day relieving himself, escorted the defendant out of the bar into police custody. A criminal complaint noted that Day showed, quote, an indication of alcohol influence.
Okay. Now it's starting to make sense.
Day was arrested and charged for disorderly conduct on the premises of a licensed establishment. He was released from the county jail. Day, a graduate of Penn State, go Nittany Lions, is the co-founder of Ribeye Media and the firm's head of client success. His title is Head of Client Success. Founded in 2023, Ribeye Media offers, quote, cutting-edge programmatic advertising solutions tailored for the local media marketplace. Well, we ought to hire this fella down at Cumulus. I mean, if he could just keep himself from relieving on folks, might be a pretty good sales guy. Never know.
It'd be raining money instead of what it was raining in New York that evening.
Day has yet to respond to messages seeking comment from a variety of media outlets. Those messages were sent to his voicemail. And there you go. That's how.
Looks like there was some sort of intoxication involved here.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb, as did the criminal complaint. Here's the thing. He was charged with a misdemeanor. He was charged with disorderly conduct, which is a misdemeanor, and released from the county jail on a $500 bond. Would you not consider? I mean, if getting hit with a sock full of rocks is getting hit, would getting hit by that not be being hit by a deadly weapon? Is urine not a deadly weapon?
Bodily fluids.
I mean,
it's sterile.
Well, you're supposed to put it on jellyfish stings.
I mean,
yeah, maybe somebody down there had gotten stung by a jellyfish. Maybe he's a hero.
He's not the nincompoop. He's the hero of this story. I'm in St. Petersburg. I'm running down the street with a massive jellyfish wound. What to do? Oh, from the heavens above, look what has descended upon me. That's how we play nincompoops in the news. On Super Talk 99.7, give me there we go. There it is. Vote Jackson, vote Murphy, vote Kenneth Weaver. Vote early, vote often. 615-737-9986. Back to the real news momentarily on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know, somebody said it best. They said Jackson is funny without even trying. I agree with that, Jackson. You are very funny. You're very funny.
Appreciate
guy.
it, Matt.
The Wellness Institute of Nashville is no laughing matter. Although, I mean, you know, if you're in pain and you want to alleviate some of that pain, I would encourage you to get over to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. I certainly made the switch, and I encourage you to do so as well. The Big Daddy Trump special, $12. I mean, it's hard to believe, but it is true. $12 for a comprehensive examination, x-rays, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment. And you might be thinking, that's impossible, just $12. Here's the thing. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley want to do everything in their power to encourage you to come in, to say hello to them, to see how the treatment will go, and to demonstrate to you how you can live a life pain-free without having to pop pills, without having to worry about needles, without having to consider surgery. And so with that in mind, here comes the Big Daddy Trump special. $12. 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009, or go to painisbad.com. I made the switch. I encourage you to make the switch as well to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Painisbad.com.
Well, it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson, Rutherford, and Williamson counties has been allowed to expire. But, boy, there is still some very heavy rain falling out there in parts of Williamson and Rutherford County. Smyrna, all the way down to Smyrna, from Smyrna all the way down to Murfreesboro. Very heavy rain there, then points east. And Mark Green has officially resigned as congressman for the 7th District of Tennessee. We'll let you know what that means and what's next coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I have tallied the votes, and I'm calling I'm calling mercy. There's a mercy rule in this thing. Actually, Brother Ken Weaver, in his return to the anchor chair, had a fair amount of votes.
Thank you, everybody.
Matt Murphy came in third. Woo! That leaves young Jackson for the victory. The getting back in for the axe. It was just...
Way to go, Brother Jackson.
I think his comment on the urine was the one that sent him over the top.
Just making the people laugh. It's all I'm good for.
Well, no, good job, Jackson.
That's way to go, Brother Jackson.
There you go. That's notch one in the win column. A victory is a victory, no matter the way they put it. Hey, where are you fellas on this? Ken,
yes,
if you don't want to comment, just say, I just do the news, boys.
Okay.
But Donald Trump, I love him. The reason we love him is he's not afraid to get into all of this. And does he have to weigh in on the Washington Commanders? I mean, is this a matter of national security? Do we care about this?
I don't.
I don't either. Call the Redskins name. Look, my grandfather was Cherokee Indian.
Yep.
My heritage is Cherokee. I was never bothered. I don't know of a lot of Native Americans that have been bothered by that name. We're bothered by a hell of a lot more of other stuff, but not that.
Cherokee in me.
And, does it bother you, Ken?
Nope.
Doesn't bother me one bit.
It did at the time because it was just a bunch of virtue signaling.
That's right.
But, now it's done. It's like, all right, whatever.
But he's after it, man. He said they need to change their name back. Said the Cleveland Guardians should change their name back from the Cleveland Guardians to the Cleveland Indians. I don't watch baseball anyway. Not anymore. Since the Braves suck.
They are unfortunately terrible.
Horrible. And they're the Braves.
Yeah.
We got another hour to go. Speaking of sucking, Hunter Biden audio coming up.
Six o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Very heavy rain right now. Most of it is south of I-40, southeast of Nashville, but right along I-40, just west of Nashville, from Dixon over to Nashville, raining very heavily. Franklin might get some of that. Murfreesboro, Smyrna getting very heavy rain right now. McMinnville, looks like you're going to be next. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Mark Green has officially resigned as congressman for the 7th District of Tennessee. He served as the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, and he said he would resign after passage of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. Green cited an opportunity in the private sector that he found too exciting to pass up. He leaves Speaker Mike Johnson an even slimmer majority, 219 Republicans to 212 Democrats and 4 empty seats. A federal judge has formally blocked Tennessee's so-called abortion trafficking law, which bans recruitment and transport of minors to get abortions where it's legal. Axios says Nashville Democrat State Rep Afton Ben and Nashville attorney Rachel Welty sued to block the law, arguing the, quote, recruitment section violates free speech of someone who simply tells where someone can get a legal abortion. The ruling is from U.S. Circuit Judge Julia Gibbons, who was a President George W. Bush appointee. And actor Malcolm Jamal Warner has died, best known for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show from 1984 to 1992.
Maybe you can just accept who I am and love me anyway. Because I'm your son.
Theo, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Police in Costa Rica say Warner drowned at a beach in Limon after getting caught by a high current in the water. He was vacationing with his family. Warner was 54 years old. Children drowning in above-ground pools has led to a recall. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission recalling 5 million above-ground pools sold by outdoor recreation companies Bestway, Intex, and Poly Group at retail stores across the U.S., linked to the deaths of 9 children over the last 2 decades. We're talking about children between 22 months and 3 years old. Apparently, these pools come with a strap on the side which is somehow allowing these children to climb and then get into the pool. So anyone with one should contact Bestway, Intex, and Polygroup for a free repair kit. And NYPD officers confirm a second suspect is now in custody for the Saturday night shooting of an off-duty United States Border Patrol agent in a New York City park. While police have not identified the second suspect, they identified the suspected shooter who was in the country illegally.
Suspect now identified by police as 21-year-old Miguel Mora. Authorities say he's a Dominican national who entered the country illegally through Arizona in 2023 and was ordered deported last fall. Since entering the U.S., authorities say Mora has been arrested multiple times for domestic violence and was wanted for a robbery and a stabbing. According to New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he was also wanted for a kidnapping in Massachusetts.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Lots of crashes. All right, let's start on I-24, shall we? We got one reported by TDOT eastbound near Briley Parkway. 24 downtown eastbound approaching the 40 eastern split. 24 eastbound left shoulder blocked at Harding Place. 24 westbound just west of I-840 in Rutherford County. 24 westbound at Whites Creek Pike in Jolton. 24 westbound approaching MLK Parkway in Clarksville. And then 24 westbound near the Antioch Pike overpass. The right lane is blocked there, according to TDOT. How about crashes on I-40? Got one reported by police near BNA. Westbound near Donaldson Pike. I-40 westbound near Highway 109, Gallatin. That's going to be over there in Lebanon. That's 40 westbound near Highway 109, exit 232. And then 65 northbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. Got a crash reported by police in Madison there at exit 92. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yeah, thunderstorms rolling through the listening area. Be on the lookout for those if you're out and about. It's 8 minutes after 6 o'clock, and we thank you for being with us on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm kind of a thunder boomer myself. My name is Matt Murphy. I host The Gathering that we do from 3 until 7 every single day, Monday through Friday at least. We call it The Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk. You know, when you get older, Jackson, you get nose hairs. I'm not saying I have one, and I'm not saying it's bugging me.
Got some bats in the cave?
I'm not saying, no, that's a different thing. I'm talking about a nose hair, and I'm not saying I have one, and I'm not saying it's bugging me.
Got some hairy bats in the cave?
Look, if you guys want to tune over to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, and see what you can see, I mean, I'm not stopping you. By the way, have you seen this very nice, like, large canteen in here?
Yes, I thought that was yours.
That's not mine. I wonder whose it is.
Oh, I know exactly. That would be Mason Fleming's.
You think so?
I believe he left that in there when he sat down with you on Friday.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, so I can steal it with wild abandon?
Sure.
I mean, I'm not into thievery or anything.
It's not mine.
It's
so.
fancy.
It is very nice.
It's a nice container. I guess it's a water jug. All right, so tune in any way you can, and we hope to entertain you for the next hour or so. Lots to get into. I mean, man, oh man, the CBS is not canceling the Late Show because of Donald Trump. But apparently, according to the political left, CBS canceling the Late Show is now a threat to democracy. That's what they've said. There are many, including the moron who moved to Ireland, Rosie O'Donnell and others. They've decided, and their logic here is this. All right, just follow the logic, that CBS is owned by Paramount. Paramount is attempting to finalize a merger that needs final approval from the Federal Communications Commission and other agencies that Trump is in control of. The suggestion is that CBS settled their lawsuit with 60 Minutes because of this merger, and there may be a little something to that. I would strongly suggest to you that CBS and 60 Minutes settled the lawsuit with Donald Trump because they had no interest in going through discovery. The last thing 60 Minutes wants would be Donald Trump lawyers being able to rifle through their emails to see the communication regarding Donald Trump between employees of 60 Minutes. That's the last thing they want, because it would just completely shatter this fragile illusion that 60 Minutes is in any way neutral and unbiased, which is a load of garbage, and we all know it. But those that believe that 60 Minutes settled the lawsuit against Donald Trump because they want the Paramount merger to go through, they also believe that Donald Trump somehow has negotiated the cancellation of Stephen Colbert, somebody that no one really watches. The only people that watch Stephen Colbert are anti-Trump people anyway, because Stephen Colbert has told us, look, you run your show any way you want, but Stephen Colbert has made it clear that half the country need not watch because you're not going to approve of his politics, and he doesn't want you there. And so when you're already dealing with a format that is on shaky ground anyway. I mean, look, folks, when do you watch network television? I mean, and network television has now become just a basic part of cable television, I guess. So there's little to no separation between the two, although they're looked at differently with the Federal Communications Commission. Because technically, network TV is free. I mean, if you wanted to get a digital antenna, you could pick up these channels on a digital antenna for no money, if you so desire. But for the most part, people get them through subscriptions. I get network television through my YouTube TV. YouTube TV, you know, at one point, I considered it a great cost benefit as an alternative to cable. But now it's like $80 a month. It's not nearly as bad as cable, but it's getting there. And if I added up all the, I don't even want to do it. If I added up all the subscription-based services that I have, just name one, Jackson.
Disney Plus.
Got it.
HBO Max.
Got it. Can't remember the last time I watched it, but got it.
Prime Video.
Oh, yeah, got that. Got that with my Prime account on Amazon.
Hulu.
Got it.
Peacock.
Oh, yeah, got that.
Ooh, Peacock's great.
Oh, yeah, got a little peacock there as my little avatar when I sign into that. Hey, are you Murphy? Yeah, I'm that male peacock. Yes.
The one who pays for this.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other ones? Crunchyroll. You an anime guy?
A Crunchyroll. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I wanted to pick one that I knew you wouldn't have.
Don't got it. Don't got it. Apple TV. Got it.
Ooh, Severance. Great show.
Uh-huh. What else? YouTube TV. Got it. Mentioned that one.
Are there any others?
Yeah, there's probably others.
Oh, I'm forgetting one.
Netflix. Don't got it.
Really? Why?
Canceled it because I was annoyed with them. So you were not here for this, but I went through a hacker figured out my password was the same password for most of my things. And someone figured out my password for my email account, matt@murphyshow.com. And so through that, they got into all my stuff and they figured out what accounts I had and they started just hacking all of them. So I had to go through and change my password for everything. And Netflix was the biggest pain in the rear end. So much so that I finally got a person on the other end of the phone and I said, and we tried to work through it and they wouldn't work through it and I said, "Oh, I'm just going to cancel you. If you can't figure it out, I'm canceling you." And they couldn't figure it out. And I said, "Well, cancel it." And they canceled it. I was like, "Well, screw you guys." They said, my alternative, "Well, you can sign in with a different email." No, I don't want to sign in with a different email because I said, "I'm me." And they said, "Well, someone else claims to be you." And I said, "Well, I'm telling you that I'm me. Where you get your money from is me. I'm the guy that pays you the money."
Did you see what they were watching, the hackers?
No, they didn't. I don't know that they watched anything. I caught them quickly enough. But they were from out in Seattle.
Oh.
Where they hacked me from. Or at least that's where they
pinged.
They pinged, the IP ping. And so it was just such a big pain. But I have to get it back because our good friend Dusty Slay, great comedian from right here in Nashville, Tennessee, who's got a Netflix special coming out this week. And Dusty may be on the show tomorrow in studio if he finishes up at Nissan Stadium early enough because he's got a Nateland podcast he's doing, and then he's out at Zany's tomorrow night. He's a busy guy. But he may be coming by, and I gotta re-up the Netflix subscription just for him.
Saw him at Zany's 2 years ago.
Funny guy.
He was excellent.
Funny guy.
Really, really good.
You know what his new special is called? His first special on Netflix was called Working Man. His new special is called Wet Heat. Just so
It's
good.
a wet heat.
Yeah, Wet Heat. It's so good. So anyway, yes, I understand how they get money off that, but But yeah, with all of these accounts, I used to complain about paying Charter Spectrum $200 a month. And now I'm probably paying $400 a month for television. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I don't think I've watched live network TV outside of sports and major news stuff probably in 3 years.
I mean, any appointment watching that you have is appointment watching on one of these platforms.
I can catch it on streaming.
Right.
I'm not home at the time, so I'll catch it on streaming later.
I mean, and most of what I watch on things like YouTube, I mean, I keep YouTube for live television. I keep it for sports. That's it.
You got the sports package?
Uh-huh. I mean, I've got everything I need from a sports perspective. So I want to watch live sports. I'll watch the British Open over the weekend, watch Scottie Scheffler dominate the competition, yada, yada, yada. I'll watch all manner of football this fall. But that and breaking news is it with me. That's it.
There's no other reason to watch.
So all that to say is late night television as a format is already dying, and these political leftists insist that Donald Trump is behind this and it's a threat to democracy. It's just a load of crap. If Donald Trump was behind it, all you need to know is if Donald Trump was behind it, Stephen Colbert would be out today. They wouldn't let him stay until May of next year, which they are. They're canceling the. Do you know how much? We talked about this on Friday, that there are 200 employees that work on that show. On a 1-hour talk show that happens 5 days a week, Now, I understand that we are not television. I understand that, we have a video component, though. You know how many people work on this show? 3. Mason does some stuff in the background on the video side. But other than that, it's Jackson, Ken Weaver, and me. Now, I'm not suggesting we don't need more hands on deck every once in a while. We do. But they had 200 people working on that show. You know how much that show cost?
$40 million, was it?
I thought it was more than that.
I think it might have lost $40 million.
No, I think it's like $200 million a year. $200 million a year to produce? $200 million a year. And you're losing $40 million a year. It doesn't matter what your ratings are. If that's how much you cost and you're losing that amount of money annually, anybody that's in this business knows that every entertainment medium, like a radio medium, a platform like podcasting or whatever, you have to balance advertising revenue, audience share, ratings. So you want to get good ratings, but if your ratings don't translate into cash flow, it doesn't matter what your ratings are. Similarly, and I think I heard Chad say this today, and he's right, that if you have lower ratings, but the people that view or listen to you support your advertising base, and your advertising base is strong, you'll stay on the radio. You'll stay on television. I promise you, if Stephen Colbert was making $40 million a year, he would not be canceled. And that has nothing to do with Trump whatsoever. Speaking of network or cable television, traditional broadcast, we watched the first show in, it's Shark Week. We watched, last night we watched Dancing with Sharks on Shark Week. I'm even stupider. I feel stupider for bringing it up than I did for watching it. It was awful. In the meantime, speaking of awful, Hunter Biden has come out of the woodwork. And when I first saw some of these videos of Hunter Biden giving an interview, I thought that they were fake. They were so over the top. I couldn't believe that these were not AI-generated videos, but they are not. I assure you, this is an exclusive interview that Hunter Biden gave to some fella. I don't even know who the fella is. But these two clips, are you going to give me the two? Give me the big one first. The first one's what, 2 minutes long, somewhere along that neighborhood? Hunter Biden is a political trust fund baby. Hunter Biden would not know hard work if it hit him on top of the head. Yet Hunter Biden wants to lecture us on hard work and all of these things. But first, I want you to hear what he thinks about his fellow Democrats, what he thinks about people like Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, and others that he considers to have thrown him under the bus. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a short time out. We'll set it up, and we'll play it for you on the other side, because this first clip, you don't want to interrupt it. And I've got news to get to and whatnot. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Men-centric health care available right here in Nashville. They have 2 locations. One's in Midtown, been there since 2014. For the last several years, they've offered the Southern Command in Cool Springs. Both of these locations offer the same quality services to you men in the listening audience. Gentlemen, if you're feeling run down, you don't have any energy anymore, if you've noticed that this is now kind of presenting itself in the bedroom, if you see a lack of bedroom activity. You don't have to live this way, man. And do not resort to going online to some of these services. You have no idea if they work or not. You have no idea if they're legitimate or not. You have a place right here in Nashville where you can look your qualified urologist in the eye. You can sit down and talk with them, discreet and professional as the day is long, and they will create an action plan specific to you and your needs. Whether they need to check, and they check things right there first day, right? They're going to get a little blood work. They're going to figure out what's going on so that they can develop that action plan. And whether it's testosterone levels that need adjustment, whatever it might be, they have a plan of action specific for you to get you back in the game, men. Let's put this behind us. Stop whistling past the graveyard and go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com, TennesseeMen'sClinic.com, or give them a call and schedule that appointment today. 615-208-9090, 208-9090. That's in mere seconds. Well, minutes. But I guess seconds add up to minutes. Minutes add up to hours. The show has flown by today, I think. Thanks to our guest, to Ricky Skaggs. You can hear more on Ricky and his time in Nashville, Tennessee, and Hendersonville. New updates on his studio. He's got a big event coming up tomorrow night. You can check that out on the podcast. If you missed it, find the podcast at Supertalk 99.7 WTN on all of our podcast platforms. You can go to 99.7WTN.com. So Hunter Biden has a few things to say about how his daddy was treated in the waning months of his presidency. Let's just, this is the 2-minute clip, the longer. It is an exercise in hilarity considering that we're not allowed to play you the commentary in its totality because, I mean, I have a potty mouth. I know that I do. I know people that dabble in cursing. I've never heard anything like this.
Opinions, but him, and everybody around him. I don't have to be nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. George Clooney is not a actor. He is a I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. You, what do you have to do with anything? Why do I have to listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the New York Times to me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of David Axelrod. And David Plouffe and all of these guys, and the Pod Save America guys, who were junior speechwriters in, on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who have been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40-50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times, how to pass more legislation than any president in history, how to have a better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're going to replace their judgment for his.
Not to mention...
Who's Jake Tapper's audience? Jake Tapper...
My mom or something? I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
For real, though. I don't even think it's your mom anymore.
No.
By the numbers, what influence does Jake Tapper have over anything? He has the smallest audience on cable news. And beyond that, I think that the book is right now on Amazon that he put out. I mean, his ratings just went to after he put the book out.
Whoa.
You know, they did
Thought we missed that one.
Infomercial for it. I mean, it was such a money grab, such a disservice to everybody that he serves with.
Well done, Jackson Williams, in that exercise in
That
bleeping.
might be my greatest producing feat.
I mean, my goodness gracious.
I swear a lot. I don't swear that much.
Me too. And me too. Oh, it gets better, though. He decided he's going to point his ire at others coming up in just a moment. Our good swearing buddy, Hunter, wants to talk to you about hard work and illegal aliens. That's another clip that we'll play for you after the news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy here talking about the Glock store. It is my one-stop shop for all things Second Amendment in the state of Tennessee and really the entire Southeast. It's truly your one-stop superstore. There's all manner of reasons why. I mean, I could talk to you about the shooting rooms, never lanes, the shooting rooms. I could talk about the fact that they manufacture so many different performance parts right on site, and they'll let you tour the manufacturing as well. But I want to talk to you about the biggest selection of Glock handguns in the United States of America. I say in the country, and that almost means the world. I mean, maybe there's a shop somewhere around the world, but I doubt it. Every Glock is in stock, and when they say that, they mean it. They're talking about every version of every model. The custom Glocks are where it's at, and they have more custom Glocks than you can imagine right there in the showroom available for you. Because, once again, if they're manufacturing the customized parts right on site, they can customize them on site and showcase them in their showroom. They love talking about Glocks. They love selling Glocks, Glock accessories, performance products. You never feel rushed at all. These are true friends in the industry, and they're going to help walk you through the gun buying process. Plus, there's always a gunsmith on site so they can install your parts for free while you wait. The Glock store, minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. I love talking about them. I invite you to go by and see them, glockstore.com. A lot of folks saying that Hunter Biden sounds like either David Spade, which I can hear that, or Dana Carvey doing a Joe Biden impersonation. Man, Dana Carvey, toward the end of Joe Biden's presidency, when Saturday Night Live decided to be more fair-minded and they could not avoid the mental incapacity that existed in the White House, boy, Dana Carvey's Joe Biden was just, so good. Did you watch any of that last year? When Dana Carvey came back and he did, what did you say? That was the guy that did Joe Biden. You
I know who Dana, church lady. Okay, so when we talked about TV earlier,
right.
I was wrong. The last live TV event I watched, like appointment television, was SNL 50.
Okay.
And I watch SNL pretty much weekly.
Okay, well,
So-
and they're back this fall. They'll have another slate. And,
Gonna be great.
Episode 50 or season 51. I've gotten back into watching them on occasion. I'm a degenerate gambler, so I play an online poker game some Saturday nights with some buddies of mine from Birmingham and around the country.
On the computer?
Mm-hmm. There are platforms where you can do that, as long as you don't take a rake. I mean, there's no rake allowed, but you set the stakes, and then one guy handles the Venmo, and you throw $50 on the table. You can do it if you want. I can get you in on it, Jackson.
Interesting.
We'll take your money. But anyway, so sometimes I do that, and I'll put on Saturday Night Live in the background. You know, you can – the table is pretty cool because you can see each other if you want. You can have video up, or you can have audio. We just kind of do audio only because you don't want to see me sitting there on the couch, you know, picking my nose or whatever. But anyway, I'll watch Saturday Night Live, and they became more fair-minded. And, man, Dana Carvey. Oh, what are you talking about? Where are you at, Jack? Hey, what are you doing there? What? Huh? What? It's like Cracker Jacks. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying.
I love Weekend Update.
Great. Yeah, they do a pretty good job.
I feel like nincompoops in the news. That is their specialty.
When was it Colin Jost?
Colin Jost and Michael Che. Dream team.
When they force one another, occasionally they'll have to do the other's jokes that they haven't seen.
Those are incredible.
Insanely funny. Insanely funny.
It is some of my favorite television every year.
Because Michael Che writes these
most racist, heinous jokes,
and then Colin Jost has to say them,
about like his wife or
suffer through them. How did Colin Jost pull that? By the way, my goodness, funny people are funny, I guess. I mean, and what is it? Scarlett Johansson, right?
Yes.
He's pretty funny in that he got himself a Blue Moon ad. Have you seen that Blue Moon ad?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I'm a huge, two of my top SNL personalities, I guess you would call them, are Colin Jost and Michael Che.
I like them both. I like them on, and once again, they've gotten a little more fair-minded. They're always going to lean a little left and going after Trump, but that's fine. I don't mind that. But, but if you've not seen the ad, Colin Jost goes to a bar and he orders a Blue Moon, and they serve it with a slice of orange, and he goes, "Oh, look at that slice of orange!" And then the two oranges are over there, and one's got a slice out of the top of his head. Have you seen this?
Yes, I've seen it. It's a good ad.
And the bigger one is the dad. He's got glasses, and they're like, "Oh, he starts talking to the oranges, and they're like, "Oh no, it's fine. You can." And he starts to bite them. They're like, "No." He's like, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, we're just kidding. You can bite us." And then the best part is the end where the bartender walks back up, and she looks at him and looks at the oranges, and they're just oranges at this point. They don't have any eyeballs or whatever. And he goes, "The big one is the dad."
That freak you out a little bit?
Yeah, we lost power
for a half second. That was crazy.
Anybody? Hello? We lost power.
Is this thing on?
I don't know if we're on or not, but we'll find out.
Michael Che and Colin Jost, they've been on the show since I was 13.
Cameras are down, nothing but the logo on YouTube. We are rebooting right now as we had a power blip here in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Another power blip in downtown Nashville, Tennessee, just off of Music Row. Hello. Let's hope that we survive until 7 o'clock, and then we can go home and not worry about it.
17 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, look, welcome. We're powering up. Might take a few minutes. That's what my television says.
Your TV behind you did not flicker, though, because when it turned off the other day, you remember what happened? We were on the French Riviera the rest of the show.
That's true. Up until this morning. I think Mandis was still on the French Riviera this morning, but they got it good. Radio's still good, says Patrick. Still on the radio, so that's good. Let's get to this final clip. Hunter Biden. Hilarity ensues. Yes, we're considering paying Jackson by the bleep, and this would be a very lucrative day for him. Here's Hunter talking about illegal immigration. Let's listen to the insanity. Y'all tell me. Well, I'll save it till after you hear it. We might have to listen to it twice. Here's Hunter Biden on the issue of illegal immigration.
Am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your garden? Who do you think is here by the sheer just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance? And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the criminals?
There's so much wrong in that 30 seconds. It's going to be hard to dissect, but I'm going to give it a go. First and foremost, Hunter Biden sounds like a slave owner. I imagine if we had recording equipment back in the 1850s or early 1850s, this is what the slaveholders would have said to those that wanted to abolish slavery. Because you understand something. What is he talking about? He's talking about menial jobs that Hunter Biden has decided that the American people will not do, like cleaning hotel rooms and washing dishes and picking vegetables. I suggest to you that for far too long, these businesses have gotten away with underpaying these roles. And look, does it mean that we might ultimately, as consumers, have to pay a little bit more? Sure. But the American people have spoken loud and clear that we are willing to pay a little bit more for the ability to understand who is in our country and to have a legal process by which individuals come into this country. No one is suggesting that there should not be legal immigration processes. But in order to get it there, we're going to have to shut all of this crap down. But Hunter Biden says that those that broke the rules, Hunter Biden is one of these morons. You know, I like to ask the question, should there be rules for entering the United States of America? Well, what do you think Hunter Biden would say to that question? Apparently not. Apparently, he believes that if you just have the grit and determination to do it illegally, that you should be allowed to stay. Countries don't survive like that, bro. So open up the borders to anyone and everyone that wants to come, like your daddy did. And if you get here, you get to stay. Why would we have rules for immigration if that's how you're going to do it? No one is denying that some of the people that have come here have done so based on the lies presented to them by Democrats like you. Oh, if y'all get here, y'all get to stay. Nothing in the law says that. Nothing. And the Democrats are leaning in on the kindness of we as human beings that we're going to grant some grace for some of these folks. And frankly, at some point we will. At some point we will. But we're not near there yet. But let me promise you this elitist, holier-than-thou, never had to wash a dish in my life attitude, who's going to do your gardening? Hey, Hunter, I do my own damn gardening. How about that? I cut my own grass. You grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth that you then turned into some sort of cocaine apparatus. I'm not about to be lectured by a drug-addled, snot-nosed trust fund baby who never had to worry about anything in his life because daddy took care of it for him, who made crappy garbage pieces of art that sold for millions of dollars as a grift, who ought to be in jail for tax evasion. And I'm going to be lectured by you, of all people? Man, imagine how George Clooney feels being lectured by this clown. Imagine. No, the reason we play this is not because of all of the F-bombs, although that was fun. You know what's instructive? He's saying what the Democrats really think. I'm going to play it one more time, or Jackson will. I'm going to play it one more time. Hunter Biden is saying what the average Democrat really thinks. They don't want borders. And they want to suggest that you and I are somehow compassionless for expecting that there's borders. Major success on the southern border, by the way. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Here's one more time, Hunter Biden sounding like a slaveholder from the 1850s.
When am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think...
Hey, stop the tape for a second. Stop the tape for a second. So... Do you understand how condescending this is? That he's like, these are all jobs that Americans would never do. We're too good to clean bedrooms. We're too good to pick vegetables. We're too good to do any of these things. Now, I do understand that for too long, some in certain business models have taken advantage of low-cost labor because businesses are going to do that. They're going to find the lowest cost availability there is. So if the government of the United States of America isn't going to do anything about illegal aliens in this country, the business community is going to take advantage of that. And they're going to try to find the lowest cost point available to them so that they can pass along those lower prices to consumers and gain market share. That's the way business works. But if you take away that competitive advantage, you're suggesting that you can't find America. What about all of the able-bodied people that are currently on Medicaid? What about all of the able-bodied people? There's like 5.4 million able-bodied Americans that have dropped out of the workforce that aren't even counted against the unemployment rate. What about those people, Hunter? No. Those people aren't doing the jobs because they're Americans and these jobs are beneath Americans. My God, you sound so racist and bigoted. That only the filthy brown person will do these jobs? That's the insinuation. And while it is a business reality that these jobs have been taken up by those groups, but only because they are in the shadows and they can be underpaid. But your attitude about bleep you and bleep me for what? For believing that the rule of law matters? Bleep me? No, buddy. Bleep you. Bleep you. And bleep you. It's 52 after the hour. No more bleeping, but one more segment to go. Grace Point Healthcare is affordable, convenient, and comprehensive medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. It's a direct pay format at Grace Point Healthcare. It means a lot because that means that the insurance company doesn't get in your way and you know exactly what Grace Point costs. Speaking of, you've heard us promote the Smart Care Plan, free office visits and basic labs for just $69 a month. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that the BBB, now known as the BBL, the Big Beautiful Law, offers you and your family big, beautiful savings. Use your HSA, that's your health savings account, and pay for your Smart Care plan. How about that? Up to $150 a month for individuals and $300 a month for families. Ask when you call Grace Point Healthcare. Back to school right around the corner, and if you've got, school or sports physicals for your children coming up, you can get them at Grace Point Healthcare. Grace Point Healthcare, call 599-6868, 599-6868. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Friends, Stoltz Co. is the #1 business, the leading company with first-class customer service when it comes to the creation of post-frame buildings in Middle Tennessee and beyond. And I'm proud to be a part of what they do at Stoltz Co. I'm a part because I get to tell you about Stoltz Co. I get to direct you to the website. I tell you what great work they do when it comes to pole barns or garages, equestrian spaces, event spaces, and yes, those incredibly popular barn dominiums. If you want someplace to hang out over the weekend and you've got a little property, if you're looking for a future home for your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, or both, or looking for a future home yourself and you own some property, let's get to Stoltz Co. and figure it out. Stoltz Co. has insane property advice. They've got great stuff right there on their website that you can peruse through, but you can dream your own dream and they can turn it into a reality. Just after one consultation, you'll understand that if you want to do turnkey, you can do that. If you want to be involved in the process, that's okay too. Go to stoltzco.com, 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 or give them a call at 615-622-5992, 622-5992. Larry wants to know when Afton's coming on the show. I have invited Afton Bain on the show on several occasions, even after we sat down and had a nice coffee together. We discussed the possibility of her coming on the show. She's not committed to a time or day, but I'm looking forward to it. Anytime she wants to come on, she is invited. Anytime Justin Jones. Look, I invite anybody and everybody that is of interest to this listening audience to come on the radio show. I do not prevent anyone from their point of view. I do not begrudge them their point of view. Now, we might argue a little bit about it, and I might disagree, and I might try to debate where I think they're wrong in terms of what the Constitution is all about, what the United States of America is all about, or whatever, but I don't begrudge people a different point of view. That's what America is all about. I find it fascinating that political leftists have now simply given up defending their point of view with argument. They have wild accusation. They have ad hominem attacks at their disposal. They don't have argument anymore. I mean, look no further than, what's his name? Jeff Daniels. He was being interviewed earlier. I posted this on my X machine feed at Matt Murphy Show. Maybe I have time for this. I don't have time for it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But this schmuck is screaming about Donald Trump destroying democracy, and we don't have any decency anymore in the world. And like, what is he talking about? The Democrats have been screaming about Nazis and fascism and authoritarianism. I mean, they do the same thing on the other side of the aisle. Let's see. WNBA. Oh, did you see the WNBA? Pay us what you owe.
I saw it.
Aren't they subsidized by the NBA?
In some way, I believe, yes. I don't know enough about it.
Well, if they want more money, I mean, they certainly, unionize, see what happens. Be good.
They have a union, players' union.
Do they? I didn't get to my Superman review. It's good.
Tomorrow.
It's good.
Save it for tomorrow.
It's good. There. Review over. More tomorrow. Mark Levin next. Hug your loved ones, everybody. So long.